imagine Carol Baskin eating pussy. Or even worse is someone eating Carol Baskin's pussy.
Carol Baskin.
A chick going down on Carol Baskin.
I bet Carol Baskin eats a fucking good puss.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. Pushing about halfway through the football season. We're on the verge of the World Series wrapping up. And everywhere you look, the Tom Brady effect is in play.
It is.
Well, no, wait a minute. Sorry. No,
well, no,
totally
they lost
wrong.
last night.
Totally
the
wrong.
Rays lost last night.
So this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday day, the Tom Brady effect was rocking.
It struck midnight last night, but yeah.
And it's ultimately that's gonna blow a big hole in your sales when the Dodgers just win the World Series.
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, how much does one man have to do? He already brought you a Stanley Cup. like, it's been months. Give the guy a little time.
Like how much?
It's been what? It's been 8 months. Right at the start, it was like quarantine happened. Brady left like right away. Like the next thing. So quarantine started in March.
So in less than a year, he's bringing you a Stanley Cup,
He got you
a
the
World
World
Series
Series
appearance, and probably making a march, into the playoffs for sure. And we'll see where he goes. Meanwhile, and I think part of it is also
he's going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. And I think part of it is also it's not only what he's doing himself and for Tampa. I think you have to factor in what's going on in New England as part of it.
For sure.
So the negative, I actually think for the Tom Brady effect, the positive Tampa Bay aspect is important, but the negative New England I think might be more important for the Tom Brady effect.
It is. It is clear. It's being seen. It's. I mean, I sent a tweet last night that the system. It actually is nice to be like, you fucking assholes who pretended he was a system quarterback. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about you listeners. Whoever said he was a system QB. You dumb sons of bitches. It's kind of nice to watch you eat crow now because the system last night went off for 364 yards and 5 touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 rushing. And then the system in New England had about 179 yards total between 2 quarterbacks and 4 interceptions and 0 touchdowns.
I don't know how far into the game it was, but anything other than like a drive and a half is too much. Like it was like Cam Newton was like 3 for 10 for like.
I think at
10
halftime
for like 9 yards.
I believe at halftime
was it that deep in the game?
3 for 6 for 11 yards and 2 picks.
I mean that is like Tom Brady was. It's like Heisenberg-esque. Like I am the system. System quarterback. Sure, the fucking system is here. It's like when I said LeBron is the process. Like Tom Brady is the whole fucking system.
And he's the GM. He should be GM of the year this year.
How about that Bruce Arians quote?
You dumb idiot, Bruce Arians.
No, I kind of like it. I kind of like it that he's just. So Bruce Arians said that Antonio Brown was his decision and the GM's decision, and Tom had nothing to do with it, and that this has been in the works for a long time. When I do believe, I was listening to the Zach Gelb show, a clip on Twitter, something like that, and he said, at least according to him, that there was a quote from Arians that was like, I'm not really that interested in Gronk, and there is no room for Antonio Brown. So you can't tell me you said that directly.
That it was 100% Tom.
No doubt. But for Bruce Arians, I think he's on the record as saying, like, we do not want Antonio Brown. And then you sign him, you can't say, well, this was all my idea.
I've been working this for a while.
Yeah.
That was a Belichickian quote. Like,
actively
that was to throw you off the scent that I was. No, this was 100% Tom Brady's decision.
I do love
100%.
Like, the thing about football is, I don't know why more teams don't do this more often. There's no risk.
There's literally zero risk.
You should go sign guys out of retirement. You should sign guys out of prison. You should sign people who are injured, whatever, because the second it doesn't work, you're gone.
Let's say in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, Antonio Brown does something insane because he's an insane person.
Because he will.
You cut him,
Jeez.
and he won 3 games. Or not one, but like,
really contributed.
Right? And so at the end of the day, you're 7-2. Worth it.
Right.
You got 3 wins in the NFL.
For sure.
Totally worth it. Worth that experiment.
Undoubtedly. And more importantly, it's like,
And
this is what Tom Brady wants, so he's going to be happy, and so you do it.
And he's so fucking good that, again, I know for a fact, I've heard from people, that when he was in New England, he only played one game. I think he went off. He had one touchdown for like let's say 120 or something like that in that one game. He didn't know the playbook at all.
Right, he was just like playing.
Brady was saying in the huddle, being like, all right, here's the play call. Antonio, this is what I want you to do.
Do this.
And it was fucking magic right away.
Yeah.
So they're going to be awesome.
Yeah, like there's
great together.
There's like other teams would be like, yeah, I'm going to sign Antonio Brown because he's a talent. Tom Brady, I feel like, is like Tom Brady has a thing for Antonio Brown.
For sure.
He's got like a crush on him. You know,
He
it's
lived with him.
Like he wants that dude because he sees whatever, the way he runs, the way he jumps, his hands, his whatever. It's not just like, oh, I want as many talented receivers. It's like, I want Antonio Brown. And that is why, I mean, I don't blame the Pats, and I don't blame Kraft, and like at some point, you know, he was saying bad shit about the family, like Kraft family. Like he's got to go, but you know that's at the cost kind of Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Like if
they kept Brown,
if Barstool,
like, there's a chance Brady's still in the
yeah, that's what I mean. You know, if Barstool like had a problem with you, and like you know you're gone. And you earned it, you know, or like Minahan, let's say. Like, if, like Minahan's eventually gonna earn it, right? But if I was doing a show with Kirk or like something was really clicking, I'd be like, okay, I understand why you're doing that, but like then I'm gonna go somewhere where I can keep doing work with Kirk, you know? Because when you know you have that specific like click, you know he's gonna do whatever it takes to get it, and he's got it now, and it feels like they are humming. And
I mean, Gronk's back.
Yeah, like, right. He's like good again, and. And then you, by the way, just factor in all the other fucking weapons they already had.
You're gonna have Antonio Brown,
Evans, Godwin. I mean, come on. So,
and the greatest tight end of all time. That's fucking insane.
And then I think everything you just described, I do believe pales in comparison to Cam Newton looking atrocious. And that what was the final score. I mean, last time I saw it was 30-6.
I was gonna say 33-6, something like that. Yeah,
that's got to be the worst loss maybe of your lifetime.
No,
of your post Brady life.
Of my post Brady life,
like starting with Tom Brady. I don't know what your Bledsoe and prior life was.
Once I honestly I don't either.
Yeah, you were like 6, right? So
I don't.
So
really
is that the worst loss of your life?
No, they had one.
The Chiefs one that was real bad a couple years ago.
Chiefs one was bad. But the one that sticks out is I want to say it was in 03 or maybe it was 05. I forget. They traded Lawyer Malloy or released Lawyer Malloy. I forget exactly what happened. But he went to the Bills, and then we played Bills week 1. And I want to say they beat us by 40. Like they fucking ran our show.
It's you know, see. But you realize how much of a cocksucker you are, right? That
yeah.
You can list like there's 3. There's like the Chiefs game, this Bills game you speak of, and then you can add the who was it last night? I don't even know who they played. Who they play?
So it's 31-0.
Yeah. And the fact that there's the Jimmy G element, like it felt, you know, like that's usually a game. If that's Tom Brady, you flip. That's the total inverse because Tom Brady comes out with a chip on his shoulder, being like, "I'm approve."
Right.
Like you know what I mean. So it's not just that you lost. It's not just that Tom was winning. It's like who you lost to, the manner in which you lost. Yikes!
It's
not good in New England, bud.
I don't understand. Like they broke me. Tom Brady broke me in the sense that like I don't get how you guys. It's almost I have like a newfound respect for you.
Yeah.
Where like I don't understand how week in and week out people watch legitimately bad, legitimately uninspired football. Where it's like I was watching on Red Zone last night, and every time they went to the Pats game, I was like, nope, Bucks, put the Bucks back on, Scott. Like get the fuck. I don't give a shit about this. This fucking breaks my heart. It's hard. It's legitimately hard to watch, and how fans do it week in and week out. With no hope, with no sign of change, like at least we still actually at least have the hope of like maybe Belichick will do something because it's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean, Cam Newton still is a former MVP who like could go off at any moment.
Someone replied to my tweet last night and was like, "They broke me so bad that I think they still might make this a game," and it was like 27-6 or whatever the fuck.
Do you remember when I guess it was maybe it wasn't the Super Bowl. Wasn't there another big loss to Philly at one point? They were on the bus. They went out there.
Yeah, that was the game. We were at that game.
And like Dave was on the bus ride home after the game, and he was like, "I still feel like the Pats are going to win this game somehow," you know. And those days are gone.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't have touchdown Tommy, yeah.
And I'm never going to expect it from you. I know it's not going to happen, but I think that New England is in they're always in new territory because, it's all unprecedented. I think what's happening now is a new type of fair weather fan that has been invented.
Okay.
I think that you were real fans who have turned into fair weather fans because of being spoiled by success. Like, you're not like Pink Hat fans. You're not the traditional hop on the bandwagon. You are real fans. You like the sport. You watch it. You know it. You know who's on the team. You know the stats. You read. You listen. All that shit. But now you can no longer be a part of a losing team. In retrospect, in hindsight, grandfathered in, however you want to say it, you guys have now become fair weather fans.
I would say that's not super inaccurate.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like a lot of guys, like a lot of the responses I were getting.
It's out of respect for the sport. Like, that's just not the sport. I blogged it probably 10 years ago.
I'll tell you what, though, John, it is.
What?
You're the exception
But I've
to the
seen
rule.
it played at its highest levels. I'm like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, but
It's like what I always said about college football, where I'm like, it's like when I was
Yeah.
at FSU, people would be like, "Oh, you're not heartbroken about this game." I'm like, Tom Brady plays tomorrow, man. Like, I can't be that sad because tomorrow
But you're
I can
the
see
rarity.
actual football played.
You watched. I don't know what you watched. Like, I watched the other end of the spectrum. I don't watch football.
Right.
I watch the Jets. I watch the Jets fail to get the ball across midfield type shit. I watch the Jets. We celebrate first downs. Okay. You watch video games.
Yeah.
You watch rookie mode Madden. The middle is football, and it's not that good. It's really not. Football, the sport of football
is ugly.
Not a great product. It's very funny. Like, I feel like Goodell and Tagliabue and all the fucking commissioners gone by and the league and whoever negotiates TV rights and shit are sitting there like, can you fucking believe this? The ratings are, another 40 million people watch this game or whatever the fuck the numbers are. Because overall, with the exception last night, the Seahawks and the Cardinals is this unbelievable game, And then you get a Tampa Bay type of appearance. And there's always 2 or 3 per week. Mm-hmm. And then there's always 2 or 3 Jets. And then the middle is just kind of right. Like
it's something we've always known about football too. Like, it's always been the thing. There's 11 minutes of actual action.
Yep.
And we're like, I was like,
that's why Red Zone.
But those 11 minutes are amazing.
Dude, think about Red Zone. It's like we had to shout out to John Taffer. It's like this amazing idea, but it's the only way that people consume it now because the regular way is a lot of
which I
for
wrote,
the average fan, by the way. I know the sports fans are going to jump down my throat right now, but for the average person, watching the battle of field position and whatnot is
I had 2 blogs during my Tom Brady reign that I think were absolutely spot on in the sense. One was that the Patriots ruined football, which I think they I was kind of being a dick at the time, being like, this is my team, they're so good, fuck all your teams.
But it's true.
And then now that's not my team anymore. It is still my team, but it's the product on the field is unrecognizable to the team that was in existence when I wrote that. And I'm like, man, they might have ruined fucking football. This is hard to watch. And then the other one was I didn't like Red Zone, which people thought was crazy. And I was like, I like watching
a full game,
a drive, because
it always ends
down the field,
but it ends in a touchdown.
Right.
When that ends in a fucking red zone pick, or I took a 20-yard sack and now we have to kick a field goal and we miss it, or whatever else happens half the time. It feels like I just watched a 9-minute drive for nothing. It becomes the total opposite of wow, that was good to watch.
It was like. When I wrote that blog that I prefer, and it wasn't fuck Red Zone. It was just I prefer watching a full game because I enjoy watching again a 9-minute drive march down the field of Brady's going bam and enforcing his will, and then we had great defenses too. So then the flip side is we deny you exactly what you want, where it's
it feels great,
and it's feels so awesome. It's this is. I don't want to watch a red zone score. I want to watch this. I want to watch us enforce our will upon you and make you incapable of doing what you want. You planned for this for a week, and we still don't fucking care.
Yep.
There's nothing
Doesn't
you can
matter.
do. And that was awesome to watch too.
And it's gone.
And now I'm watching Red Zone. I'm put the fucking Bucks game back on.
Where are you now? What? So
Right now,
I mean,
I'm
are you
fully-
like full Tampa Bay fan now?
I'm full tank for Trevor fan. And then, hey, buddy, we're knocking on the fucking door.
How many wins do you have?
2.
How many more are you going to get? I mean, what are we talking about?
don't-
I'm not going to, unless you can somehow subtract 2 wins. You are not getting Trevor Lawrence over the Jets.
Well, it's the crazy thing is
the Jets are literally, they are 32nd in the league in like everything. Everything. There is no way you will
I mean, it's
beat the Jets in this tank.
It's also possible that the Pats go because like the Cam Newton from yesterday is not like I watched Cam Newton go on the road in Seattle, who they really haven't beaten anybody, but they're still considered a very good
5-1 team, yeah.
right? And like I watched him go to Seattle and put up a hell of a game to the point that there were fucking articles written afterwards that like the Patriots must have cheated in how they got him. Like it was fucking bullshit that he not felt to them, but that no one else wanted him. And like even the Patriots with Cam didn't play in the Chiefs game, like they went on the road to Kansas City and they gave Kansas City a game. So it doesn't make any fucking sense that you suck as bad as you have the last 2 games when you went on the road and gave 2 of the best teams in the league.
Man, sports
good
is
games.
fickle, bro.
It makes no fucking sense. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it might not. I'm saying tank for Trevor, but they also. It wouldn't surprise me if they went on a run and made the playoffs at like fucking 8-8 or some shit. Like
I
that.
wonder, you're not wrong, but I wonder like maybe another season of this. Like at some point, the rules have to start applying to them again. No, not the rules, but just like
I don't
the
think
logic has to start eventually. The probability, it's probable. Eventually, they have to start being like, yeah, it could happen, but they're not gonna like.
I don't
run,
think that we will.
Belichick will always have that in you.
It has to be once Belichick leaves. Right. I think as long as Bill's there,
Or
there
like
will
what,
be,
like
the
5 years of of him proving otherwise. Or you think he'll still always think? Like,
I think as long as Bill's there, there will be that little fucking voice.
I wonder
in the
what
back of your
he like. How long? What will make him retire? Like will he be able to take if it is a 5-year run of mediocrity? Is he like, all right, I'm done, or will he just keep chasing it? Because I think he is driven by ego and whatnot. Not wholly, but I think there is more to that than like he lets on. But I also could see him being like, I just need football to live. Like when you're when you die because like your wife dies,
right?
Like he'll die if he retires.
Because he is a football fan.
Yeah,
like he.
Right.
I don't.
Like, what do you want to do? Hang out with your grandkids? No.
There's absolutely some aspect to it of ego, but like he was like 7 years old at Indianapolis, just sitting in film rooms, watching football. So
he'll probably be around forever, and so you'll always kind of have something in the back of your head. But I just have to say, and I know it's not you. I know I'm never gonna get this from you. We have these arguments like once or twice a year during football season, but for the new grandfathered in fair weather fan of New England, because that's what it is. It's not that you're. Again, I'm not saying you're like a fake fan, because I know you watch and know. But the definition of like fair weather, meaning you can only watch it or only enjoy it or only care about it if it's good. That's what's happening.
I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
Right. And so, like it or not,
it's just
and playing
it's just a
semantics,
hard product to watch.
Right. But we can play the semantics game. You can like it or not, you're a fair weather fan now. And I say you, meaning like probably the majority of New England. There's some guys who have been around prior to Brady who still remember how to lose. And there's probably some fans who are so dedicated, who aren't doing the Tampa Bay thing, who are like pissed off the Pats fans are bad. But I think the majority are in this fair weather mentality where, like, one guy tweeted me saying, I'm 45, man. I've seen everything I need to see, and now I watch my kids play sports, and I don't need like the Patriots anymore. I'm like, okay, fine. If we're now gonna say that you retire from being a sports fan at 45, okay, yes, in that case you won. But for everyone else who's like still gonna watch their team, you have basically turned into a fair weather fan, and that's all that I can hope to take solace in. Because you're just not playing by the rules, the rules of like sports fandom. And I get that. It's kind of like when Tyler in the NBA was just like, no, I'm just going to root for all the teams. And it's like, well, no, you're not allowed to do that. And you'd be like, why? And it's like, well, yeah, yes, right. You can just do whatever you want because there are no rules to this. But the whole point of sports is bragging rights and busting balls and fighting over it and arguing over it. And there's a winner and a loser. And there's a back and forth, and then you hope that it flips, or you hope that it's even. And like for that 7-year run where the Pats didn't win, it kind of was even. There was you guys would dominate in the regular season and always make the playoffs, but then I would always clink champagne at the very end because you got eliminated. And there was this back and forth. And then you went on such a run that it was there is no fun to it. And now you're just taking your ball and going home.
I'll take my ball and going to Florida.
Right. And I said you're unplugging the Nintendo.
I'm gonna stop in Tennessee along the way.
You're unplugging the Nintendo or pressing reset as soon as you're losing. You you're throwing a calm temper tantrum. And it fucking sucks because then it's it almost in a way though kind of does not negate. Again, this is also stupid because it's all just made up rules and shit about sports fandom, but it's had I known you guys were just gonna not care once they're bad.
Oh, I knew this was gonna happen.
But I wouldn't have
I'm speaking for me, but also I think a majority of people who, as you said, don't know how to lose and don't know what football really is are well, I like the good guy.
That's so annoying. Had I known you were gonna be like that, I don't think I would have been even bothered as much during the real run. It does kind of diminish to me, what you guys were thinking or feeling or saying or doing, knowing now that when times were bad, you're just I don't care.
Oh, I care. I just care about Tampa Bay.
And so...
and also I fucking care. It sucks to watch that. That's why I'd rather watch Tampa Bay. It fucking is a pain. It's hard. It's gut wrenching. I know a lot of guys on the team. I like a lot of guys on the team, and it sucks to watch them have to go through that. Also, I'd rather watch a back shoulder to Rob Gronkowski.
If there was no Tampa Bay, what would you do? What would you do then? Would you just not watch anything?
No, I think when Tom retires, it'll be back to 100% Patriots. But
will you be able to sit there and watch bad Patriots?
Yes. As long as if. Because Tom, my connection to Tom is so strong. I wrote a blog, I think it was Tom Brady Forever. I headlined it when Brady left, where I was he raised a generation of people from New England. It was we're dickheads, we're assholes. It's all because of confidence that Tom Brady inspired in us. Right. Because that's all we knew our whole life. And so once he's gone, yes, my allegiance will be back to 100% the Patriots. But as long as
I don't know if you have it in you.
I could be. Here's the deal. I knew if he ever left, I would also root for his team, and I knew that back in 2012, where I was because rumors started swirling with stuff like that
forever ago.
Not 2012, but
the Max Kellerman clip was 51 months ago. The infamous Max Kellerman, I don't know whatever he said, he fell off a cliff or whatever. It was 51 months. He fell
off a cliff in short order. But I want to say it was 2013, 2014. Rumors started swirling. Brady might not be here forever, and I was I knew in my heart, I was if he goes somewhere, I will also like that team. I'm not abandoning the Patriots because I liked the Bledsoe Patriots. I was so fucking young that it was just my dad was like this team, so I liked that team. But I knew wherever he went, part of my heart was going to go there. But also, sitting here now, I know once he's gone, I have no fucking connection to Tampa. I don't care
of course.
about Tampa.
But I really don't think you guys have the capacity. And I don't even really blame you. I am starting to dwindle on sports fandom because of just the erosion. There's the tide's just knocking me. And Steve Cohen's giving me a little bit of hope. But, this Jets fan is probably the worst this Jets team is probably the worst in my lifetime.
Which is
insane.
Yeah.
Insane to look at what I've seen and be this is definitively worse than all of those other ones. That's crazy. So I get it. But what's crazy is that it's happening to you guys, I guess not like that. I guess it's it is, we're just coming from opposite ends. For me, it's been 20 years of, longer than that, but 20 years of misery that has made me kind of want to quit sports. And you guys have had 20 years of success that's making you want to quit football. And that's bullshit. That sucks. That sucks. It does. It just is like I said, had I known, I wouldn't have really even cared as much about, had I known that it was really going to result in a a majority of bandwagon fans, I wouldn't have even been as affected, I don't think. Because, especially when you're younger and you start with this shit, there's like a dumb pride element attached to it, right? You make fun of the pink hats. You make fun of bandwagon fair weather. You make fun of people who can't name the names on the team and all that kind of shit. And you make fun of the people who are like, you can't handle it. You're not committed. You're not like in the trenches and all these dumb things that we come up as sports fans. And like you motherfuckers became that. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying, how it should have gone is that you guys should be miserable now, and it's like a fun thing to watch the guys from the top go to the bottom and like watch them take their medicine. But I think what I didn't anticipate, but what I think. The only way we're gonna, like me, Jets fans, and basically all non-New England fans, the only way we'll get any satisfaction is feeling that we're not watching you like hit the bottom and take your medicine. We're watching you like lose football altogether. Yeah, but it does not bring nearly the same satisfaction. Like what it should be. Like I said, there's a life cycle with fandom, and you go to the top. And you're the man, and then when you're on the bottom, we get to make fun of you and we kick you while you're down. And you're supposed to be upset and miserable, and we're supposed to be able to feel that and see that. And you guys are just not doing it. You just won't agree. You're just not turning your key. I'm like Costanza. I'm like, turn your key. Just like give in. You have to capitulate to this and just feel the misery, and you're not doing it.
I got so many tweets about that last night. Like, oh, you're being so quiet right now. The Patriots suck. I'm like, I'm being so quiet because I'm watching Brady dominate.
So annoying. And what I'm trying to convince myself is like, but not equal, but another variation of that I never saw coming is that you guys are just fair weather bandwagon fans.
That's fair.
And that's fun. It is fun to be like, New England is a bunch of fair weather fans.
And
you can't deny it if you guys are fucking telling me, tweeting me, showing me that you don't care.
It's not like it hurts. I care. It hurts to watch that. It hurts to see that.
But the way you're handling that is just by like quitting.
It's okay. Here's the deal. It's like a hangover, right? With against like it sucks. I feel terrible, and this is brutal, and it's awful. But also, I have my little Bloody Mary in Tampa, where it's like this will make me feel a little better.
So Tom Brady's your hair of the dog.
Yeah.
And it's like you should just have to sit there and be miserable, but you've got this little cheat code.
Yeah, I got another sip over here that's making me feel a little.
So I guess what I really need.
Still, I still understand what's happening, and I'm like this.
But eventually,
sucks.
Keeping up with that analogy, eventually that Bloody Mary runs out, or eventually you have to stop drinking for one reason or another, and then you're truly hungover.
Or I'm Tommy Lee,
and you just keep drinking forever. You needed hair of the dog this weekend. This was a adolescent type weekend. It's brought to you by Miller Lite, which makes sense because I would imagine the Miller Lights were flowing because I was told John Henry's night ended at 7.
Yep.
A.M. It was not like I went out for happy hour from 5 to 7, had a couple drinks, and then called it a day. It was 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
Eastern time.
Sun was coming
in the morning.
Actually, sun wasn't coming up.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. No, it doesn't come up that early anymore now with the change. I can't believe, by the way, we haven't done the clocks yet. It's already dark and shit. We haven't done the daylight savings yet, so it's going to start getting real fucking dark.
We haven't done daylight savings?
November 2nd, I believe. I want to say November 2nd.
Oh, that's perfect.
Right, with the election and everything. Yeah. I mean, check me on that, Nick. I might have made that up. I might be wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, let's just throw the world into physical and literal, figurative, all anarchy. Let's do it.
The first.
Close enough. 7 a.m. for John. So I would imagine, responsibly drinking. But as long as you're enjoying responsibly, you can have Miller Lite at any time, literally morning, noon, night, a.m., p.m., with anybody in any setting, over the computer, in person, at a bar. You could have it 6 feet apart. You could have it sitting on each other's laps if you're allowed to. Wherever, whenever. Miller Lite is...
Secure?
Yeah, baby. Moving those fucking hips. You can enjoy it with the most important people in your life in the most important times. Miller Lite, brewed in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at the Miller Brewery Company, with just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. It is the go-to beer that's great taste, less filling. So if you want to drink a few, not worry about your weight, not worry about your wallet, and not worry about the taste and make sure that you have yourself a special time with your friends. Miller Lite is the go-to beer. So go to MillerLite.com/KFC to find the delivery options near you, which is key, man. You get everything delivered these days. Everyone was on that train to begin with, and then COVID brought it even further. So deliver your beer right to your apartment. Go to MillerLite.com/KFC. 7 a.m. for John Henry. That's a time, I mean, man, I couldn't, gun to my head, I couldn't do it. I could not do that.
It's not that hard.
Oh, it's so hard.
Nah,
dude.
it's not
You
that
know what
hard.
it is for me? It's like, I mean, there's two things. I don't think I could sit on a bar stool for 7 hours anymore. I think eventually I'd be like, I need to lay down.
It wasn't
did
7 hours.
Did this bar
It
have?
was-
Oh well, yeah. It was probably 15 hours.
I got there about 3 p.m.
Oh, I didn't know it was that early. I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's like 12, 13. So that's
I got there at 3:30.
so that's 16 hours.
Yeah.
16 hours at a bar, like that's what I mean. I don't think I could stand or sit. Eventually, I would need to get horizontal, and also, I mean, eventually, I think I get bored. Nah, not anymore. There was a time where we go to saloon for 1,000 hours. I can remember a March Madness day. We went to a place called Stout over by the Garden. We were there, ran up like $1,000 bill at a time where those were a big deal. The only reason I got kicked out of Stout that day. The only reason I left Stout is because I got kicked out because we were all so banged up that I was making out with a chick in the bar to the point, and like so aggressively so, that the bouncer came over to me and like tapped me on the shoulder and was like, come on. like, come on.
Like, you know what's happening.
Yeah, like,
right?
and like good for you, like I can see what you two were about to do
why don't
here.
you take her
You
home,
have
bro?
to do it elsewhere. You
Like,
can't
he was-
just have sex here at this bar.
He wasn't even like kicking you out. He was wingmanning you.
Yes,
Like, hey,
he
bro,
was like-
you've reached the point where it's like, you want to get out of here.
Right.
Get out of
He
here.
was looking out for me by, putting me in a cab. But, now I don't think I can do those anymore out of physical incapability and emotional and mental incapability. I don't know how you do it, bro.
See, I'm good at drinking.
Yep.
And it
Maybe the best.
So what happened was that everyone got there so early. The party started so early that everyone got so fucked up and like left like pretty early. Like not pretty early, like midnight-ish.
Well,
kind
but
of
when you
deal.
say everyone,
I mean literally everyone.
you were solo dolo.
It was
None of the people you were with remained with you.
Some did until like 1 or 2.
So that is a whole other night. Like another 5 or 6 hours. That's if I went to a bar for 6 hours right now, that would be a long time for me. That was just your post game.
Yeah. Well, all right. So here's the deal. So we went to this bar. It's like our bar,
Yes.
and we're friends with the owners. We're friends
guys
with the
should
bartenders.
just buy in at this point.
And so the owners and like everyone was like as soon as we got there at 3 on Saturday, everyone was like the owners and stuff were like dude, like we left our cars at home. We're fucking like we're going tonight.
yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah,
Was
we
there-
are.
oh, okay, yeah.
And then like when the bar started to close, everyone was so fucked up they'd already left, but the guys were like ready to go.
Let's keep rocking,
So
yeah.
I was like, I'll take this one. Like I'll
Twist my arm. You take one for the team. You're the hero of the bunch, huh?
And we were like, we went to like different places and like we didn't stay the whole time. And like I remember my girlfriend went home at about 1:30, and at like 5:30 or 6, she had woken up and just texted me like, hey, like just want to make sure you're okay. And I responded right away. I was like, I'm great. I'm grand.
So you were like coherent still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, good to go, babe.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm great. Like we're just hanging out, having some beers. She was like, okay, see you soon. And it was,
I hope, maybe, I don't know. And at this point, all of Barstool and all your friends have gone home, including the birthday girl.
birthday girl went home early. That chick's a fucking lightweight.
Well, yeah, listen, she's over the hill now. You know what I mean? She's washed up. That old bitch. It was, in fact, Kayce's birthday. She's turning 41. And one of her, let's call it birthday gifts this year, was a piece of art. Piece of artwork. It was a random fan of Barstool got a tattoo of Kayce Smith on his arm, leg. I don't even know where.
We were trying to figure out. We couldn't really tell.
That's not great.
It's either upper arm or bicep.
That tattoo.
Upper leg or bicep.
He got a tattoo of Kayce Smith with eye black on that says TB12.
It is the most nonsensical. I mean, I guess it makes
Gig'em
sense.
on the forehead. High noon, like a fucking, like the tattoo that Dogface 420 has on the back of his head.
Yeah.
And a Lombardi trophy, is that what that is?
It's like Lombardi.
And Kayce with
It's a gold Lombardi, which also
it makes
doesn't
no
make
sense. What's up? What's the top left there, or is that just another tattoo? Like
I
that?
think it's a separate tattoo. It says hashtag Gig'em on her forehead.
That's another face.
Yeah, he replied to someone where he
He
has
has
like
other women on
it's
tattooed on his
Miley.
body.
We couldn't figure out who they all. Miley says Miley, so we could see that.
There was
one.
another girl that was just like another analyst, I think.
Oh, really?
Like, dude just has multiple. Which kind of, if I'm Kayce, I'm kind of like, well, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I think we should call the police.
I told her that this is going to be the thing she sees before she dies. I was like, so I really started going in on it last night.
Well, so let me ask you this. This hits the internet. This hits Twitter. Kayce Smith gets tagged. It says the fan art. Kayce get no wait. What was like the one? What did he say? And what is Kayce Smith's first reaction? Because I don't know what she said, and I don't know what she's saying. She said it went down tonight at Kayce Smith, and like that's it really. Hashtag Gig'em, hashtag TB12, hashtag high noon, and thanks to the dude who did the art. So nothing, no like grand, caption or anything. He just said it went down tonight. Here's a tattoo. She loves this. She loves this.
I don't know. All right. Like I don't make fun of tattoos because like they are so permanent and it's just like
You just don't want to make the person feel bad.
right. I don't want to make the person feel bad.
Come on, we're making fun of
like,
this one, bro.
When I saw that last night, I was like, it's actually pretty good for a tattoo that was clearly done by someone in a straight jacket. Like it is.
Yeah, look at these other tats.
It is going to be. I told Kayce this, and she didn't realize it, and I kind of broke the glass on her for this one. But I was like, just so you know, he comes on this, and she was like, "Oh my god, I hadn't thought of that." And I was like, "He 100% comes on your face, on his arm or
I
leg
suppose
or whatever."
it depends
it is.
on where it is, right?
If it's it doesn't matter where
I
it
mean,
is.
you think if it's like upper arm, you
Oh,
think he can like,
comes in his hand and then wipes it.
yeah, like
Like
somehow.
he puts his cum
that
on
guy,
her face.
that guy puts his cum on her face and then like takes a picture of it or sits there and looks at it and like marvels at his cum on Kayce Smith's face. God, I hope her parents don't listen to this podcast anymore.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I wish you didn't say that because I had a lot more to say.
Gotta say it, bro. Come on. Let it rip.
No, like that's gonna be like he's gonna make her look at that before he murders her.
Yeah.
That's just like
definitely.
that's a fact. He's gonna be
Like-
see how much I love you.
The next tattoo will be like her dead face. Like one arm is her alive and her second face is her after I've killed her.
Oh.
And guess what? He comes on that one too. I mean, this is not, fellas. This is not cool.
This is Simp
This is
City.
Simp City. That is funny. Simp City. The simpulation. This is a problem, dude. This guy needs help, and Kayce needs protection. Kayce, I mean, this is how it starts. We're all laughing, and then this guy is parked outside of her apartment with like a pair of binoculars.
No, see, it actually kind of connects to what we
Look
were
at
saying
actually,
earlier.
I don't know. Look at that guy. He seems pretty peaceful. He looks like a Hawaiian dude. He looks like I don't know. Looks like he's not gonna murder you. The tattoo. I mean, he's inked up all over, so it's hard to tell where. It looks like maybe it's right on his calf there. So you think he's just kind of like doing one of these, just like pow, just kind of crosses his legs and just. Because I'll tell you what, John, if you're gonna get a tattoo and you want to come on the tattoo's face, you can do what you said, like rub it on there, but you want to hit the money shot. You want to deliver the money shot. God, this is so bad. Gig'em on the forehead is just
The high noon. It's all
the high noon is really on. Honestly, that's the TB12 makes sense. She really what
kind of.
well, that's
Like,
no
does
for,
it?
for Kayce like.
But does it?
I think what he should have done is the Cowboys, the Patriots, and Tom Brady, because that's like the running joke with her. But the high noon is like, I mean, high noon must fucking love this. They're like, great, Yeah, like she does a lot of ads and she drinks the high noons, but God, I don't think of like it's synonymous with Kayce Smith and high noons to the point that she get it tatted on her face. You know what she should be for Halloween is this.
Oh, that's a great idea.
She should get Gig'em the eye black and write high noon on her face.
Yes.
And be her
Carrie
own
Lombardi.
shrine to death, you know? What do those guys, don't those guys call that like shrining or something like that?
I've never heard it. Makes sense.
You know what I'm talking about, Nick? No, there's something. It's a KB, Nick. You know, it's a Ken Jack world thing.
Yeah,
and I think Ellie used to talk about it too. Like simps, I think will like print out pictures of girls and like build a little shrine to them and come on it. It's something to do with shrine or something with that word, and that's what this is. And so Kayce's gonna be her own come death shrine for Halloween.
God.
I'm gonna make her do it.
Yeah,
and honestly,
she has
if
to
she doesn't do it, I'll do it.
Wait, that's a better
I come
idea.
in with a wig
I
and
think
we have
that's a better idea. I
Gig'em.
think don't tell her. I think you have to.
Can you do it? I don't want to dress up. Can you do it? Somebody else needs to do that. It's funny. It's funny. That's a great costume. I just don't want to do the Halloween costume, but if I had to, I would do the Kayce Smith Gig'em come death, the come death shrine picture. You think that as a tattoo artist, it's an interesting ethical debate in my mind. Like when someone comes to you with just a horrific idea, you're supposed to just be like, check cleared, bro. I don't care.
Oh,
you know?
I would
right?
be.
You don't ever weigh in on
If
on
it
the
was my
person's
friend,
tattoo.
I'd weigh in,
Right,
but
but as the artist,
I assume your friends have already talked to you. And
Yeah.
If you've heard
but
from
you
your
know,
friends.
like we go to Fleischman and she's like, no, like as a hairstylist, that's a bad idea.
but she's our friend.
I think that she does that for everybody because I think she takes the art, the craft, so seriously. Are there people out there who take the tattoo artwork craft so serious that they're like, I don't want you going out there saying,
I did this.
you know, what's his name? Like, I didn't want to shout it out in a bad way, but like the guy tagged him, and yeah, people being like, Joe Smith, the tattoo artist.
It's pretty good. Like, it looks
It's
just like
good
Kayce's.
art, but it's such a bad. Unless as far as come death shrines go, it's probably top notch. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy is like that's his wheelhouse. Like, do you have a girl and do you want to eventually murder? But in the meantime, come on her artwork face. I'm your guy, Jiminy Cricket. This is just.
It's so bad.
But you didn't get any react. Like, I mean, it is flattering in some sort of way. Like, if this happened to you, if a chick got a tattoo of you, would your reaction be like, what the fuck? Or would your reaction kind of be like, yo, hey,
Nah,
I got
I'd
it
like it
that,
because
you
I
know?
know she can't murder me.
Yeah, that's true. And
Like-
also very hard
like-
for a girl to come on you. But I wouldn't. If a girl was coming on my tattoo, I think I would be like flattered.
I'd like it.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't have that threat of death.
Right.
Like you kind of do, but not really.
All right, but
like,
eliminate the threat of death.
It's a hard one to eliminate.
It's a big ask. I'm asking you to take a big leap here. But from just a ego point of view, is it a cool thing, or is it a like?
I think it's a cool thing. I
like, even in
I
general,
don't think
when we
that
get-
she like there was not the reaction like I loved it. She did show it to people obviously because I'd show it to everyone.
She tweeted it,
but she was like,
But that's what I wondered.
I had to like help her craft her tweet of being like, what do I say to this?
Okay,
like, it wasn't.
interesting.
Like
I mean, I'm obviously going to relentlessly bust her balls about this on radio, and I'm wondering if she. Is saying all that, but on some level, she's like, yeah,
I'm
that
sure
girl who
there's
get,
a level where you like it.
Ugly girls and not popular girls and not successful girls don't get cum tattoos, So, they don't boo nobody.
They don't even get murdered, fucking losers.
Right. Ugly girls don't
sometimes
get.
they do. But.
Yeah, but, they're not top notch. They're not first overall pick. It's like when they say they don't boo nobodies, and it's like, that's what you say. It's true, but that's also what you say to someone who's getting relentlessly booed to make them feel better.
Right.
Well, when a bird shits on you on your wedding day, it's good luck because you're covered in bird shit. When you have a come death shrine tattoo, it's, we're going to spin it and say this is a good thing. But, when people first started getting like Barstool tattoos, I remember being like, that's cool that we are on that level. But I also remember people being like, boy, people were like simping for us. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, these are just like a bunch of dudes who like bloggers. You're going to get inked up that way. So I remember being like, this is cool, but not, this is flattering, but not cool, This is, I guess, flattering, but not something you really want.
It's something that Kayce will think about every night before she lays her head down.
Yeah.
Like, tonight might be the night.
Until Tonight she does.
Until he finally kicks in the door.
It's like, you know why Kayce didn't think about it tonight?
And the day he kicks in the door, she'll probably be like, fucking finally.
Yeah, I've been waiting for
stressing
this.
about this for so long.
You know what she should do? Marry this guy. Just give him what he wants, and so you don't die. Be like, yeah, okay, we'll live together forever. Just don't kill me. Because, like, you know what? The reason why Kayce didn't think about it tonight when she laid her head down? It's because she's dead. Because she can't think about anything ever again because he finally got to her and murdered her. Wow. I mean, nobody's even come close to anything like that, right? Is there anybody who has a Dave tattoo? That's probably happened, right?
Yeah, I think a couple.
Couple Dave tattoos, yeah.
I've seen those floating around.
But again, that is a weird, there's no, I was going to say there's no like sexual, element to that, but maybe there is. And there's certainly no violence element to that.
It's there. It's just not as prominent.
Right.
Like
this is a, guy
a woman could
tatting
kill
up
me,
a pretty girl.
But if like, a girl tried to like keep me in her basement, I'd probably get out.
I'd get out.
I'd probably get out.
When, you know what, like, eventually you got to like feed me, and when that happens, I'll get you. I'll do the Walter White. I'll break the plate. I'll stab you. I'll kill you. Eventually, I'll get out. Okay. But yeah, congrats to Kayce Smith. You are officially enshrined forever. And I'll tell you what. You know what? I'll tell you why Kayce likes it. Out of all the artwork that's been done of her recently, that's the best one.
Yeah.
She's had a tough go of Moon Man Sam trying to capture the way she looks. That one, I bet there was an element. She might not admit it, but there was an element of her going, finally someone got me and made me look hot. So whether or not she wants to admit it, Kayce's happy on some level with the Come Death Shrine tattoo. All right, we got to get into our top fives, of course, and voicemails. But first, we got to do a little internet. It's kind of like an internet 1.0 type thing. Some good videos that were floating around last night. One that I saw and cursed the timeline with, much to people's dismay late last night, and one that Fight saw during the World Series that I didn't. So we're gonna play them live for each other right now and get the initial reaction from each of us for these videos that we both are seeing for the first time. I want to start with mine. This was actually posted originally by Reggie, who's one of our new interns, who's now actually running the Kicks in the Office page. He's a sneakerhead who's revamping the whole Kicks in the Office page, and he's got a really good plug. He does a series called Before the Drop because he gets access to every shoe now before they come out. So if you want to get a first look at sneakers, Kicks in the Office is the spot to do it. So Reggie tweets this out with he just had the emoji where it's like, yikes, Can we blow it up? Can we do full? It's a wrestling video. This is John's reaction.
This is a backyard wrestling video.
Yeah, backyard wrestling.
Which is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. He's on the top rope there. You see him in black? He's stepping up on the...
Yeah,
it's hard for you to see. Okay, let it rip.
Is there sound to it?
Yeah, if you don't... Yeah, pop the headphones on just because you want to hear the mat, quote-unquote mat, which is clearly just a piece of plywood, which definitely plays into effect here.
Oh! My God!
Give me... Wait, listen if you can hear. That dude just broke his legs. Give me a freeze frame if you don't mind, Nick. It looks... Shout out to Robbie Fox. He characterized this the best. It looks like a puppet who has just crumpled up. I mean, look at that. Like I said, it looks like It's Gonna Be Me in sync puppets. Where, I mean, his legs are just completely backwards. He went full flamingo. He went full Portnoy with it. And I mean, clearly it's not entirely his fault, as the wrestling mat is just a piece of wood that does not give at all. But, however, that being said, this gentleman was about to participate in a full wrestling match and couldn't handle that.
Oh, he was about to? I thought he just won.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I took that as like, when you first come in the ring.
Yeah.
And to not be able to just, hop off the second rope, maybe even the first rope, and do a little, just a little hop and turn. I mean, and here's the funniest, if you will, part of that. I mean, that guy, I'll tell you what, to get dark with it, that guy probably ends up killing himself. Because think about it. That guy is probably in a wheelchair for the next 12 to 18 months. And something tells me he's not like
He looks like Michael Jackson.
something tells me he's not doing like a white collar financial analyst job. Something tells me he just lost his gig down at the factory because he can't walk anymore. So that guy is probably unemployed, not making any money anytime soon, has 2 broken legs in a wheelchair, can't get in and out of his trailer park, certainly can't do the love of his life anymore, backyard wrestling. I mean, that guy probably ends up killing himself because on a Sunday night,
I don't think he does
wrestling,
it intentionally. I think he just ODs accidentally. Oh my God.
I mean,
He just
and you know
he's
what
so fucking drunk he forgets if he already took his oxys.
yes,
that day.
exactly that. And you know what I said?
Oh, we're stereotyping. Bad.
Hardcore.
What's up, Middle America?
What's up, little hillbilly oxy? A little, you know. But what
Are you from a flyover state? I'd like to insult you real quick. You work in a factory. You're drunk. You live in a trailer park. And you forget how many oxys you take on a daily basis. Oh my God!
and you suffer backyard wrestling injuries. I mean that's it in a nutshell. Stereotypes exist for a reason, John, and we just went West Virginia bingo on him. BINGO. There it is. Come on down. You're the winner.
Oh, Boomer Sooner. Love Oklahoma.
I said this would happen to Coley Mick if he was a backyard wrestler. Could you not see that? His upper body with his toothpick legs, Coley just hopping down, pop, breaking him as he got vertigo.
Sense. Coley, I love you, but he's shaped like a potato with toothpicks stuck in it.
Unbelievable. All right, now, so you got your video that I did not see.
I think this might be more horrifying.
No.
Yes.
Do I need audio? Is this?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay, so we did the horrific injury, and apparently this is more disgusting.
I've thought about this. This overshadowed Kayce's fucking tattoo. Because this is just...
What?
It's hot dogs that slither. And it's...
Yeah.
I mean, that's... It's... I mean, that's...
Oh, no.
Like...
Oh,
it's
the way...
so smooth. It's slither. It's a glizzard snake. It's disgusting.
Where is that at the baseball game? Yeah, Fox, right?
Yeah, it's Fox. So yeah, it was the baseball game.
Those are hot dogs in Texas? Oh my goodness gracious. And they're like the wrong color kinda.
This
like
guy
they're
was
like, oh.
This guy was like, "This is my moment. I'm going to make sure we really encapsulate how fucking
That bend right there.
grotesquely long these hot dogs are."
Yeah, those are what? Those are not foot longs. Those are 18 inches.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are, oh my heavens to Betsy. Do you know what that is? That's like that's like one of the like freak porn stars when they're soft.
I don't think so. I don't think you can find a soft dick that big.
Yeah, you're right.
Aside from that guy who always wears bike shorts everywhere. Remember him, the dude with the world's biggest dick?
But you know, he has girth.
He's got yeah,
and the girth makes it better. The thinness here, the skinniness is what presents the real problem. The way that it just bends down, it looks like when you're doing this move. That's the hot dog version of that. Oh. I mean, if I ordered that, like, I just want a fucking, like, 6-inch hot dog, you know? I just want a normal hot dog. I don't need it to be that big, and I certainly don't need it to slither like a snake.
When you see the big hot dogs, you finally realize that, like, girls aren't lying who are like, "I don't like big penis."
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, that makes sense. I don't want a big hot dog.
I don't want that in my face, in my mouth, inside of me, near me. No. Ah, God. That is, and ironically, like, that's what our backyard wrestlers' legs look like.
Yeah.
In a weird way, these all kind of tie together. God, the internet is a horrible, horrible place. Just where you can see the grossest of the grossest, whether it's food or horribly broken bones. Ugh. All right, time now to get into our top fives. It's brought to you by Cuts Clothing. Cuts is one of those brands that's popped up over the last couple of years that has.
That's all anyone in this fucking office wears.
I know, but you know what? Like, they earned it. They're smart.
Oh, no doubt.
They are like, they made exactly the type of clothes that I like. Basically, all I want to wear is either shit that I designed myself and we make here at Barstool for the Viva brand, Sad Boy Season, all the stuff that we've created over the years, or clothes like Cuts, because it's like you reach a point I think when you become like a little bit older, where it's like you're not rocking like a graphic tee, you're not wearing stuff with like a big logo on it or a picture on it. Sometimes you do that like for a party or for the weekend or for the summer day at the beach or whatever. But for like your everyday clothes, what do you wear? It's stuff like cuts. It's just like singular, solid colored shirts that come in different cuts and different styles. But for the most part, it's just like a navy shirt, a black shirt, a gray shirt, a white shirt, stuff that matches with everything, that doesn't look like, it's not lame, it's not boring, but it's also not like try hard. It's like stylish, but it's low key. It's kind of that perfect in between where you could kind of wear it, out to the bar, or you could wear like a nice jacket over it and look like, you could go on a date, or wear it to the office. They've got t-shirts, they've got long sleeve tees. They now are in the hoodie game. They've got the scoop cut, the split hem, the elongated, the regular, every different type. They've got the Henley, the crew neck, the V-neck, scoop, like I said. So basically, you pick your shirt, you pick your cut, you pick your neck, you pick your color, and you can mix and match all of them. Now they have hoodies and polos. So if you need a collar, you got those. And they're all that like soft, kind of stretchy material. Looks great.
Very comfortable.
Looks great if you're in shape. If you're not in shape, it's okay. It's not gonna like show like off, where you need improvement. But if you're in shape, you're gonna look fucking hot as shit. Yeah. It's not like you're gonna see. Sometimes those tight shirts, it's like, well, there are your tits and there are your love handles. But with cuts, you can rock them no matter what. But if you are in shape, go right ahead and flex on them bitches. Apparently, the new hoodies I'm reading here are from French Terry, which I love. I love a good Terry. Love a good Terry.
I don't know if I know Terry.
It's kind of like not towel-y, but like
okay, yes, I do know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So get your cut shirts. I mean, we all wear it. They say here, entrepreneurs, athletes, a lot of people, important people are rocking them, and you never have to worry about picking them. You just grab a color off out of the drawer, and you're good to go. Get 15% off now when you go to cutsclothing.com/KFC. That's Cuts, CUTS, clothing.com/KFC. 15% off, the only shirt worth wearing. Top 5. It's almost Halloween. A couple days to go, right? What's the date? The 26th. So Halloween is this week. Top 5 Halloween costume ideas for 2020 that people are thinking are going to be funny, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we fucking get it. One of the worst days of my life was Halloween, maybe 2000, I don't know, let's call it 13, when I was a Chilean miner, and I thought that was going to be clever. Remember that year that all the miners were trapped?
I know the miners well, yes.
And every single person at Saloon was a miner.
Yeah, Jorge Galileo was a big one.
Yeah, that guy when he had the wife and the mistress both there when he was being pulled up.
Yeah.
And the joke was that he was like, "Just send me back down, just send me back down." But yeah, everybody had the same idea as me, and I did go the extra step, and I got the throwback shirt that said "Sex with a Minor" and it had a picture of a miner.
And you were in brownface, of course.
Yes, of course. I put a little mustache on and I talked with an accent all night. Hey, you see, I'm stuck in a mine, man.
People didn't know that they were LA gangbangers before they moved to the Chilean mines.
You also, I think maybe the same year, you were just a giant Jewish guy.
I was just a Jewish person.
That was probably earlier because that was like the whole fake Jewish thing.
Yeah,
But
so
one
that was
day-
like 2011.
Yeah, I don't know if that was
actually,
the same
it might have been
year.
2010.
That was maybe not the same year that I did the miners. I don't know when I did the miners,
Right,
to be honest.
right.
But there was a year at Saloon where you had like the flat black hat and the Pez curls, curls, or whatever they're called.
I was the fake Jew. I remember my
Yeah.
dad was like very concerned. He's like, "You're
Yeah.
gonna get jumped." And I was like, "What are you talking about, man? I'm not like a rabbi, like a evil rabbi. I'm just a rabbi.
Jewish guy."
I'm just
But it is funny. Like now, you probably couldn't get away with that. They would just be like, "I don't get the joke," you know.
Well, mine's
If you were just like an overly Jewish guy, you'd be like, you know. Did you see there's clips of the new Borat movie, which I guess is not very good at all? I haven't heard.
Oh, really?
The lights camera guys are the only people I've heard say anything good about it. Everybody else.
I had a buddy text me last night that it was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
I've just seen from like the timeline here or there. Nobody important, but I know Big Cat didn't like it. Minahan didn't like it. Oddly enough, I saw Adam 22 from No Jumper said it was terrible. So just the vibe I've seen is not good. But there was one clip of.
I mean, that makes sense. That checks out. I can see it not. Being
Well,
very
it's
good.
some people are saying it's like the world is too political now. And some people are saying he's too famous now that he can't get people. I also think that we as a like culture, I don't know if that whole thing plays as well as it did. I think there was a time where it was like, holy shit. Like it was almost like still like the punked era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just don't think that has the same.
I'm with you. Like the man
know?
on the street type videos
Right.
and stuff
It's like
that.
we've just kind of advanced past that in a way. You have to be
There was a time
really
when like
good.
the only thing on the internet was man
Man
on
on
the
the
street
street.
videos.
And it was
we
because it was
kinda-
new and it was hot. But I think now if you do it, you have to be like fucking hilarious.
Because
Like
now everyone just
um,
knows, like, oh, you filmed for 17 hours and you got 3 funny clips.
Right.
Like, who cares?
I remember like
Not funny clips, like
Triumph
that
the
you're, like,
comic,
you're editing
the comic
them.
dog. Remember him?
Yeah.
Like that was like I remember at one point being like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen for me to poop on. Like that is so funny. And now I think I wonder if we're reaching a point where the internet has brought you so much entertainment that we like the bar is just so high now.
Yeah.
Like you really got to be fucking funny. That's why I'm so happy we're grandfathered in that people just like to hear our thoughts on shit because I say this all the time. If I had to do like Barstool Idol, like, what would we do? Like, here's my audition. Like we're just gonna talk about the topics of the day. Like I'm happy you guys listen. Please don't stop. But I don't know why you do. All right. So anyway, off track there. Top 5 costumes for 2020. You want to start us off, or should I go first? What?
You go first.
Okay. I think this is gonna be. I think this is not a bad one. This is not. But I think there's gonna be a ton of them. I think it's a late entry that a lot of people are gonna do. And you're gonna be like one of 50 at the party, and it's Dogface 420. You're gonna get you're gonna go get a bottle of cranberry juice. You're gonna go out with your skateboard because it's easy enough. You're gonna put on a white shirt. You can get the cranberry juice, and maybe
I believe
if you have
he
a
sells this
skateboard.
costume.
I am sure he is all over this. I'm sure Dogface 420 is making money on every possible way he can do this. I believe he gives us a hard time. I don't think we like him.
What do you mean?
He like gives like you know to get like rights to play videos now.
Oh,
he
yeah.
like won't give us his rights or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, total jerk. But I've seen he did an interview with. Have you seen No Gas All Break? What's it? No Brakes All Gas. That's a Chicago thing, Nick.
All gas, no
All
brakes.
gas.
All
no
gas, no
brakes.
brakes.
Yeah.
That's a Chicago thing.
I've only heard of it through the Barstool Chicago guys.
Because I thought that was the Barstool Chicago guys like mantra.
Yeah,
But then I
it
said there's
was.
like a guy who like has a whole show that's called All Gas No Brakes.
Yeah, I don't know
And
if
he has
that
a lot of followers.
I don't know if that popped up before or after them.
Anyway, he did an interview with him, and I'm like, what the fuck? So there must be like some sort of, because I figured by now somebody would have got him.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean. So he must have like a. Anywho, I think people are gonna show up with that. That's also it's gonna get dangerous. That's a little you're a white guy doing that. It's gonna get a little appropriating.
You
I
can't
feel
do the
like
brown face.
Yeah, you can't do. I wouldn't do the tattoo on the face or the facial hair or whatever. But I think there's gonna be a lot of attempts at that, and it's gonna even if you pull it off, I think you're gonna be like, oh fuck, there's 10 others at the party.
Oh fuck! I kind of zoned out. If the littlest thing that doesn't
Zach walked in the
usually
door?
happen
Yeah.
happens, it just throws off my complete.
You are like a puppy dog or something. It's just like what?
Yeah, like the door opened, so I was just out for a second.
Could you? I mean, what if you were like an athlete and it's like, all right, 3-2 count, bottom of the ninth, like a flash bulb went off, strike three. You know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't even wait I'll just go home.
I really do think about it all the time. Like it always Derek Jeter used to go through my mind because he just got so many clutch hits, and it's like I remember when I first played Jenga. Did we talk about Jenga on KFC Radio?
No, I don't think so.
Team Pubes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm sure it was floating around here somewhere. So we're gonna go win $10,000, me and Johnny on Jenga. But I remember when we first played, I was like actually kind of nervous, and I think about like Derek Jeter would go up there time and time again, like bottom of the ninth, and he'd be no shakes, no nothing, just like this is what I do. This is my spot. I'm gonna get a base hit here. No big deal.
See, I think
And
I
always put myself in their position. I think about what they literally see. It's like Derek Jeter's looking at the pitcher and he sees the crowd and he's just like, I'm gonna get a hit here. That just blows my mind.
I would be either Derek Jeter or I would be someone who was just completely incapable of doing anything.
Well, considering that you couldn't do a podcast when the door opened, I think you'd be the other guy.
But I would I think I'd get in that box and just be like, whatever. man.
Whatever. You're so indifferent that the nerves.
Yeah.
If I strike out and people hate me, whatever.
I think it would go. I don't know which way it would go, but it would go
Yeah,
one.
one or the
I
other.
would be one of the extremes. It would either be like I am completely
Wouldn't that be so funny?
useless, or I'm David Ortiz.
Could you imagine that interview for like Sports Illustrated for kids? Like, how do you do it, John? How are you so clutch? What's the key? Like epic amounts of apathy.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna die one day. So
I do remember Irvin Santana on the Angels was like, bro, I come from the Dominican where I was sleeping on a dirt floor in a hut. You think that pitching in Game 5 of the DS was like a big deal? Like, like this is cake, man. This is easy. I could see you being just like, yeah, man. Like, well, we all die one day, so who cares about the ninth inning? Whatever. All right, your pick.
Zoom call.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know.
The inanimate object costume, I feel like in recent years, people who became an Instagram picture or whatever.
100%.
The Zoom call.
They're gonna be like, they'll be in their underpants.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, the lower half is not done. The upper half, you're business ready.
Virtual,
you got a fucking
a box around you.
Yeah.
So, or there like some play on the word Zoom. You know what I mean? Like when people do like Aretha Franklin, and it was like, you ever see that one? It's $100 bills on a wreath.
I know.
You know, so, yeah, like you wear a wreath, and then you have
If you do
Ben Franklin's all over it.
Things like that.
Yeah, I hate
You're
that.
the biggest piece of fucking shit.
Right, and you have to explain it to people.
Right. Like
you know?
like that's what
Even
you're
if it's
getting
clever, it's like
you're fucking rock hard when people are like, I don't get your costume. It's like,
Let me tell
that's
you.
because you're not
Let
intelligent.
me tell
enough.
you why.
Let me tell you all the details you missed.
Ugh.
You know, I don't give a shit about that. I put on a fucking pirate hat to come.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to drink beer, and they said I had to wear a costume.
I'm totally here against my will. Fuck off. I will go with the fly. The Mike Pence fly. There will be somebody where you wear a white wig with a oversized fly type of thing on your head, and you're gonna say, "I'm Mike Pence from the debate." I'm the fly, and people are gonna go, "Oh, okay, great. You're wearing a fucking wig with a fly."
I could definitely
Awesome.
see that being a couple's costume too, where they think it's fucking great. and
What you're Mike Pence and you're the fly?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I could see that. There's the couple's costume that I'm gonna think of that because that's a whole other wrinkle when you got to think of the duos this year. But your pick, what do you got?
Gonna steal your fucking shine right
no,
here.
fuck.
Hadn't even thought of this until you just said couple
Fuck.
costumes. Carol Baskin and Joe Exotic.
Yep. Fuck. That is what I. So we talked about doing this a couple weeks ago, and we said let's wait till Halloween is closer. And I remember thinking that was the one thing that was the one that was the inspiration for this, and I fucking blew it. Was
Really?
Joe Exotic? Yeah. The amount of people.
Yo,
it's a
if
little
you
bit. It's a
still
little
dress
bit.
up
Yeah.
As Joe Exotic, we gave the only reason. Oh,
Johnny and Joe Exotic more than anything.
only reason anyone watched that show was because quarantine had just started. That show fucking sucked. That dude was not interesting. Carol Baskin, not interesting. All of the people in that show, uninteresting people. It's that show was
the documentary maker was a cool cat.
he was fine.
No, that guy's cool.
I don't even remember him because everyone in that show is not worth
that guy.
remembering.
He did another documentary that was pretty cool. That guy who he was always like smoking a huge cigar and he had like that funny hat on. But yeah, everyone else is either a bad person or just not. Doc Antle, like I saw the other day, Doc Antle was indicted on charges. Like whatever, wipe these people off the face of the earth.
You're all
Wipe them
pieces.
off.
They were all pieces of shit. And like Joe Exotic was recently being like I don't know, had some comment from prison and it was TMZ and it was like, dude, we stopped caring about you 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Go back to rotting in prison until you die.
As soon as The Last Dance started, nobody cared about Joe Exotic.
It
anymore.
was.
Fuck
I mean,
off.
it was a fucking what?
Go
8
back to
hours
rotting
show?
in prison till you die.
That's all you're good. That's all. Joe. That's your only purpose on Earth right now. Is
To
just
rot and
is to
die.
die.
Yeah.
That's.
But like
you,
Carol
Joe Exotic.
Baskin's on, or was on Dancing with the Stars.
And no one
Hopefully
gave a
she
shit?
Voted off, but like
That people cared about. People pretended to care about that for 5 minutes.
not that Dancing with the Stars is by any means like the last bastion of entertainment, but like the fact that there are some execs out there who were like, this has juice. Like, come
It was
on,
like you
man.
got announced. People were like, that's stupid. And then 10 minutes later, no one gave a shit.
You know what
I
I
don't
think
even know
would
if
be
she ever
great?
danced. Did she ever dance on
No,
the show?
she did. I saw her doing like she was like, rah.
Oh,
I was
great.
like,
Love
kill
it.
me.
Love it.
You know what
fucking,
I
you go
think
back to
would
rotting until
be-
you die too. You goddamn dumb bitch with your fucking. Her husband came out just as gay, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so.
I think she came.
So
She's
she
gay.
came out.
Wow.
Oh, right. That's what happened. Okay.
God, imagine Carol Baskin eating pussy. Or even worse is someone eating Carol Baskin's pussy.
Carol Baskin.
chick going down on
I
Carol
bet Carol
Baskin.
Baskin eats a fucking good puss.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You think?
She's watched a lot of
Like
cats
it's a cat,
lap
like
up a lot of
Pussycat,
milk.
yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
I
she
also
only-
bet you her
Carol
pussy.
Baskin-
I bet you her pussy is toxic. I bet you it's rancid. We talk about that pH balance. She's way off.
Carol
I bet.
Baskin only eats pussy with a fucking tiger tail and cat ears. Cat ears on.
Remember that picture? As we sit here, they're so uninteresting, and now we're doing a whole segment.
Well,
But
we're
remember
just-
that picture of
They're definitively uninteresting.
she had her husband on a leash
Yes.
and like
yeah.
the collar and everything. I was like, this poor son of a bitch.
Yep.
But that makes sense that he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to, fuck some dicks. Just like trying to fuck dick, and I'm stuck with Carol Baskin so she doesn't murder me.
Carol Baskin's probably got a fucking piece on her.
You think she just got a dick? She might just be a dude. Carol Baskin, her name's Charles.
Carol Baskin's got
Charles
a fat
Baskin,
hog.
she just got a cock on her. Okay, my pick. Coronavirus.
Yep.
Just like the ball and the spores, you know what I mean? Someone will do it lazy. They'll do like a gray shirt or something. I always picture it's like gray with red, right? That's like what the picture looks
for sure.
like. So, you'll stick some like cotton balls or some sort of red things, tissue paper, whatever it is, and you're going to be like, I'm coronavirus. And some people are going to be offended by it too. Some people are going to say, this killed 200,000 people. What are you like doing? Why are you doing this? And I'll tell you what, all those people can just go ahead and catch cancer, catch COVID and die.
Catch cancer.
Catch cancer. Catch the cancer. Did you see White Sox Dave, by the way? He was diagnosed with COVID. It's like, motherfucker, you just got coronavirus. You're not diagnosed.
Diagnosed with COVID.
Get
Shut
outta
up,
here.
White Sox Dave.
Diagnosed. He's tweeting out how he lost taste and everything. It's like, yeah, we know.
Yeah,
we did this.
Bro, I've heard of coronavirus.
Right, we know all the symptoms. We don't fucking care, Dave. But yeah, COVID-19. Oh, that'll be a thing too. That'll be one where people get clever with the words. COVID-19. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but they're gonna be like, "What are you?" And it's like, "See, this is co." And this is vid, and I'm 19 or something like that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of those little Mad Libs ones. So all Corona-related, fucking kill yourself, get COVID, die.
Okay, I got this one isn't topical. It's every year. There's gonna be multiple of you at the party. Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Like everyone still just dresses up as Margot Robbie.
That's the new age like hot slutty pop culture thing,
Yes.
And it's like the movie was bad and it flopped, right?
No,
and like
the
nobody
movie
cared.
was actually really good, but it flopped.
Flopped, okay.
I haven't seen it,
but it
like,
is funny
it's-
for a flop to be like, the costume.
Like Suicide Squad, that sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Her own movie, like Harley Quinn's Bird of Prey or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was good,
That was from everything I saw. Like it was very well reviewed.
but you didn't see it.
And no one saw because the movie name didn't make sense. Like it didn't.
It was like the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
That was the name.
Yeah, it was
That movie
ridiculous.
should have just been called The Harley Quinn Movie.
Yes, exactly.
No,
and
literally, it should just be called Harley Quinn.
They,
The joke.
they
Like,
changed
They changed it because
Oh.
because it flopped so bad. They're like people just don't know what this movie is.
after the release. They changed
Yeah.
it. They're not allowed to do
Yeah.
that.
It is.
That is cheating. So what does that even mean? Like in box office, they just like changed it. Like the sign on the movie theater just changed to Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it's called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Whomst decided that was the name of the movie.
As stupid. It's a 78% Rotten Tomatoes, so it's
So like when you go to the movie though, and like, is there a title screen? And then did they change that?
No, I think I did see it. I didn't think it was that great. It was like fun. It was a lot of crazy action. Like,
Yeah,
At one
yeah.
point, she has like the giant fucking hammer, and it's like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But like we're just going with it.
Okay.
But I think it still said the fantabulous emancipation because she says it at one point. Yeah, it's not great.
What pick am I on? This is my fourth.
Yes.
I'll go with Fauci, Dr. Fauci. I don't know how you do that one, but
I mean, I don't know how you do it either.
I think there
Like,
will be a whole. There's going to be a whole political, like it'll be like the My Pillow guy or Dr. Fauci or anybody who's been like a talking head throughout coronavirus. I think people will try to latch onto.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fauci is, I guess, there probably will be some people who just look like him. Like there's gonna be like some little Italian men who like can pull it off, and they'll be like, I'm gonna put on a suit and basically become Tony Fauci. But I think that there will be any attempts at the like people of coronavirus the people of coronavirus or the terminology of coronavirus. You'll see a lot of those, and all of them will be like, I hate your guts.
Yeah.
I fucking hate your guts.
I will not be at any Halloween parties. I'm old, but like if you walked into my party in any of those costumes, you're kicked out.
Get out.
You're out.
Turn
Like,
right around.
You take this too seriously, and you think you're good at it, and you're just
almost what we did with the social distancing game show. There will be people who are like flattening the curve. Will be the terminology, and they'll have like a bent thing that's flattened, and we'll be like, I hate you. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. There will be friendships lost over Halloween.
As there should be. Yeah. All will be well deserved. Yeah. All of them will be like, I've been thinking about cutting you out of my life for quite some time.
Now it's happening.
Now you're a fucking coronavirus spore, and I think we reached the end.
Right.
We got to the end of this ride. I'll see you later.
Yep.
All right, my number 3 or 4. My number 4, Handmaid's Tale. I think
throw the red robe over you and be like, it's happening.
Between the election, between the Supreme Court, which actually.
That's my last pick. Fuck.
Yeah.
You can take it. Yep.
I was gonna go. Well, I'll do number 5 will be RBG.
Yep.
But it's just there will be Amy Comey Barrett, whatever the fuck her name is.
There's going to be. Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what's a costume I could get down with? Ruth Conda forever.
Oh yeah, blackface for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta have blackface.
I'm gonna go as Ruth Conda forever. I will dress up as
RBG
an old
in blackface.
Black woman.
Yeah.
Yes, I will have the bun. I will have the glasses. I will be in blackface. I will be wearing a Supreme Court justice robe, but I will have the sleeves of Black Panther, and I will in one hand have a gavel, and in the other hand have like those. I think they had like spears or shields.
Yeah.
And then I will go, Ruth Conda forever. And that will be the hit of the party.
That's a great costume.
That will be the hit of the party.
Great costume.
That will and you got to like be on Twitter and you got to know what we're talking about. But yep, that's the one.
Ruth Conda forever.
I might dress up for Halloween this year now just to do that.
That's a great costume.
Like that's a
with
lot
the gavel and the shield.
Yeah,
and the spear,
if you
whatever
guys can do me a favor as producers and make that happen, I will then wear it. I don't want to go around buying the things or making the things, but if you guys can find me Ruth Conda forever stuff, I will wear it. I will wear it. I also think if there's a way to make a costume of like my 6-year-old son who was crying over the election, my 3-month-old who died over, my 5th pick. I'm gonna go. Well, all right. I have a fun one and a bad one. Okay,
Let's go bad one.
There's gonna be people who are like, I'm George Floyd for Halloween. Like there's gonna be problematic pictures of like something where Michael Scott had like the head on his shoulder. There's gonna be someone who puts like a leg on their neck. There's gonna be somebody who does.
I forgot how dumb people are.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like police brutality costumes that rednecks are gonna get pictured on Halloween on Facebook. And they're gonna lose their jobs because they always fucking do. And that's
they're all gonna be
happen.
professors at Liberty University. Every teacher at Liberty University is gonna get fired.
Gun Girl's a good one. Gun Girl is a good costume. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of those with people pooping their pants, walking around with an AK-47. But there will be highly inappropriate from like George Floyd to any of the other police brutality cases to protests or like the protester, the rioter. There will be something like that, like blackface with like or that agent provocateur guy with the fucking umbrella. Remember that guy who wore all black?
Oh yeah.
Like those things. So all sorts of inappropriate, everything from the past, 6 months or whatever. My fun one was gonna be Chris Evans with his like a dick out. like if you wear a pair of shorts and have like a dildo sticking out the bottom of your shorts, and you're like,
that's
Chris
another
Evans,
good one.
I can do that one. That one I think that
I was just a guy with a huge cock.
yeah, that's one like you got to know the joke. Otherwise, it's just it reminds me of that awkward moment when he does rock out with your cock out to the costume party, the dress up party. Everyone else is just in cocktail dresses. He's got his dick hanging out. That's one of the more unrealistic scenes in that movie where he just gets along with the parents after that.
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen.
And leaves it on the whole time.
The whole time doesn't just say like. Because then guess what? You're just a guy in a bandana and it's okay. But instead, you just have your dick flopping in the mom's martini. Doesn't his dick tip fall in the martini at one point? Like, come on.
He's like going to shake her hand or something like that. Like he walks in and he's like, oh, everyone's not in costume. Immediately walk out, throw
Take
the
it
dildo
off.
out the window.
Take off just put your jacket on, then you're a normal dude again. Then you're just Zac Efron. The only thing more unrealistic in that movie is when he doesn't go to the funeral.
I mean,
It's like, I know what they were trying to do, but they could have been a little less heavy-handed with it. Every guy in the world goes to the fucking funeral.
Yes.
Even if you've dated her for a day, you just go to the funeral, you asshole. Come on. But yeah, so how about you want to be Chris Evans and I'll be Ruth Conda forever?
sure.
Or like that's, we're not actually going to do it. But like that's what we would do.
Yeah.
Like we get credit for
If
the
you want to
costumes.
Photoshop me into the costume,
Yes,
I will
those are the ones.
retweet it.
That's what I want. Photoshop me into these costumes. That's the new dressing up for Halloween. Photoshop me and post it on social media.
I'll be
What were you for Halloween? I was Ruth Conda forever. Means I have a picture of it on Instagram.
I'm treat me like any free agent basketball player in a Knicks jersey. That's just anytime there's a free agent in basketball, it's like
Put him in orange and blue.
Here's what he looked like in a Knicks jersey.
I think there is
Do that for my Halloween costume.
I think there's a job at Bleacher or ESPN that they just sit there all day being like, what's on the docket today? There's 30 more guys to put into a Knicks uniform. Just in case. Last pick for you.
It was RBG. I stole it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. So that's it. Top fives for us. Nick, you got a pick?
No, cake. When everybody, everything turned out to be cake on the internet for that week.
that was weird.
Someone's gonna be cake.
I got it one too. WAP. There's just gonna be a ton, and I'm cool with that one. There's just gonna be. Well, you know what? There's gonna be two things. There's gonna be hot chicks who just dress up like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion in like those, like they have the dresses on and shit, and the wigs, and then there's going to be actual like wet ass pussy. Like I could see people like there's gonna be girls walking around with a bucket and a mop.
Oh,
there's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
girls walking around with a pot of macaroni. All the things that they use to describe wet ass pussy, which I can get down with.
I'm into
So
all
those
that.
are like the good costumes.
That just got me horny. So I like it.
Like if a hot chick is rolling around one of those janitor yellow buckets with the mop, and she's hot and she's wearing like a skirt, and she's just like, I got wet ass pussy. Do you remember? I don't know if most people know this. Back in like the good old days, I want to say like 09, 10, 11, there was a girl at Arizona State who was just naked for Halloween. Do you remember this?
No.
It was so fucking funny. She was so hot, and she just wore like high heels, and she had like a purse on and her hair done, and she was just naked, like pussy out. And like the Snapchat or whatever it was just said like this chick just showed up to the party. She's naked for Halloween. And she just was like, yeah, like pussy out, like clit right there.
Really?
And she was so I can't. I searched for it the other day, and I don't even remember like where it originally was. And the other thing too is I'm pretty sure it was Arizona State, but if it's not, then that kind of ruins my whole fucking search. You know what I mean?
Kevin, how did you not be able to find this?
Did it pop right up?
It's right up.
Maybe I didn't search for it. Then.
It's all like I can't find the here it is. Here's a Reddit. So Reddit's probably got
this is the one. That's the girl. That's the girl. I remember that one. She was just all the pictures were like girls of her, like she was in the background. It was never just a picture of her. Yeah, I definitely didn't search for this. I remember thinking like, oh, I won't be able to find this, but I mean, how fucking boss of a move is that? You know, that to me is like that's the ultimate hot chick move where she was just like, I'm gonna go naked. Fuck you, bitches.
I found the non-blurred ass pic. What up?
I found her pussy, so I win. We all win, though. We all win.
Vaginas are weird, man. It's just so flat.
I was gonna say that, like when they stand up, it's just like kind of like a rect. It's like, yeah.
It's just so.
There's just nothing
It
there.
just ends. It's just like a flat fucking pussy.
Well, you almost hope because anything that gets a little too lippy. You don't want it to be flat. You don't want it to be bumpy there, but it really does, especially when it's a girl like that.
She's got an exceptionally flat vagina.
Yeah, that is what they call it, the keyhole or whatever, where it's just like that's not even the keyhole. That's just a rectangle. That's just like a square peg missing.
It looks like she's a Lego who's missing a piece.
I'll be honest, this girl is like decidedly not my type at all, but so hot.
But
You know what I mean?
why is she not your type?
Just like she's a tall, skinny, blonde. Like I don't like that.
You don't like fucking hot women, Kevin?
Like I don't. No, that's not that hot. That's not that.
I mean, she's hot.
She's hot, but like, you know what I mean. Like to me, that's like she's like very flat kind of. She's like a rectangle.
Yeah.
That, you know, she's a perfect rectangle. There's no curves there or anything. But like, I'll take that flat pussy. You know, I will hit that flat pussy. That is crazy. But I mean, what a move though. Like you think that you're like, I'm the sexy nurse, I'm the sexy this, I'm the sexy that, and she comes in, she's like,
Here's
I'm
my
the
twat.
sexy, yeah. I'm the sexy human. I'm
I
the
like
sexy
word
girl.
Twat.
What would you do if in bed if a girl was like, fuck my twat?
I'd fuck her twat, Kevin.
See, to me, that's like, I don't like the word twat. I just came around on the C word.
Oh, a cunt?
Yeah.
I like cunt as long as you say that T hard.
Yeah, you always hit the
Yeah. You fucking cunt.
It's like the word for
It
you
almost
is
like it's like the opposite of a hard R.
yeah.
It softens it.
It to me, it's almost like the word is like CUNTUH.
Yeah.
Like cunta.
Cunt. You I don't call women cunts, but I call men cunts.
Yeah, if you call a woman a cunt, you better
Right.
fucking duck. You better fucking
I'm like, he's a
duck.
fucking cunt. See, the T, that one was just natural. The T softens it. The T makes it okay. It's a reverse hard R.
By the way, I mean,
I think you know what I think it is too? I started hanging out with Irish guys.
Cunta.
You fucking God, fucking what's up, you cunt? Yeah. So it normalized it for me.
This is by the way, just to further my point here, like that's not my type, man. Look at that. Like those like dangly titties and that flat butt as she bends over.
I'd fuck that flat ass, Kevin. I'd fuck those dangly titties. I'd fuck that girl.
I mean, yes, I would fuck that girl. But I can't, like, if your butt bone is banging into me, I don't like that one bit, sir. I would probably tell you to get back on your back.
I've had
I'd
it
say
before to
flip
the
over.
point where it's like genuinely it was painful.
It hurts.
And I was like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I pressed through.
Yeah.
But
Clearly.
it was
But like
like
when they
I was
say
like, I could,
cushion
like-
for the pushing, it's like, yeah, you
I'm
do need
literally
you
getting
need
stabbed right now
Yeah.
with a fucking spine.
with the spine.
Like, isn't that all connected to the spine? This thing right here?
Oh, I would call that like your butt.
Well, it's your tailbone, but it's connected to your spine.
But I'm thinking,
Like, it's the end
so
of your spine,
are you
isn't it?
saying that you're saying the middle of her butt was
Yeah.
hitting you? Oh, I'm thinking of like her butt cheekbones.
No.
Hitting like my kind of like my hip flexors, if you will.
No, it
you're
was-
talking about her spine.
Her spine was
Almost like if she
getting
had a
right here.
tail.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Shallow Hal, that
And
guy's
I'm
tail.
actually not even referring to one person. I've fucked a lot of women who that's happened to me.
Well, that's just probably skinny white women, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's gonna be a lot of those where, like, I mean, you know, the supermodel type, you know, is like, I don't think I want to have sex with that.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It's genuinely
Yeah.
painful.
Right. Give me like a short girl with a fat butt over like a tall, you know, modelly type all day, every day. But the Arizona State
But-
chick, you know, like that girl
I'll
can
still fuck any of you.
definitely
Like-
all of your bones,
Like
all of
without
your-
hesitation.
Yeah. And I will like it. And you will not. Voicemails. Let's go. Brought to you by The Zebra. You want to save money on insurance? Of course you do. Who doesn't want to save money on insurance, you dumb fucks? Spending full price on insurance is stupid. And the only reason why
Full
dumb
price
people...
on anything is stupid.
Yeah, well, the reason why we overpay is because we're dumb people. We don't want to go through the process of finding the cheaper price, so we just pay full price, and that's stupid. But there's a lot of dumb people out there, so the Zebra knows that, and they're going to fix it for us by saying, hey, dumb people, we're going to put this all in one easy-to-read spot. You don't have to go hunting for a good price. We will put it all together in one comparison site where you can compare side-by-side quotes from over 100 providers and choose the best one for you in under 90 seconds. It's like Kayak for insurance or Priceline Negotiator for insurance, where it's like, here's all the plans, here's everything available in your state, here's everything available for if you have a car, if you have a home, here's what you need insurance for, here's the best price possible. You can save up to $670 a year on average. $21 billion most people are overpaying in America, to the tune of $21 billion, and the Zebra is here to stop that from happening. All you got to do is answer a few questions on a simple and fast form, and they will find the best rates and coverage in your state. Once you answer those questions, they won't sell your information. They won't give up anything to spammers. You won't be hounded by anybody. It's all completely completely free, completely safe and private, and you can save up to $670 a year when you go to thezebra.com/KFC. That's THEZEBRA.com/KFC to start saving on car and home insurance today. Voicemails, what up?
Hey, KFC and Spice. I am honestly just looking for your point of view on this. I'm 27 and I just don't think I need to use the word boyfriend anymore. I don't know, it makes me sound like a 12-year-old. But this kid I've been seeing, however, never asked me officially to like be his girlfriend, just kind of like started throwing it around one day, and then when I felt uncomfortable saying it, I was just like, hey, I also don't really like the word. I feel 12. And then, like, some days he jokes like it bothers him, and then some days it doesn't. And then his one friend called me an asshole because I was at the bar, and I was telling people I didn't have a boyfriend, but that's not exactly what happened. But he made it seem that way. I just said, like, no, I just have somebody that I spend most of my time with. I just don't know why I have to call somebody my boyfriend. So my question is, because I know John calls his girlfriend on the podcast his girlfriend a lot, but, like, is this term, like, too young? Like, I don't know. Can we stop using it? Is that
No!
okay?
Do you
I don't know.
hear
Let me know.
how fucking long-winded and complicated this description was? I just have some person that I spend time with and hang out with that I enjoy to be company with that most people would call boyfriends, but I don't call boyfriends because I think that is a sophomoric term. Is that easier than saying my boyfriend?
It sounds
What?
like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg's got a joke where he's like, I don't have a girlfriend, but I do have a woman who'd be pissed to hear me say that. And
Yes,
it's
yes.
The
Just fucking.
it sounds like
God.
Michael Scott when he's doing the abbreviations, and he's abbreviating things
that are like longer with the
and everyone's like,
abbreviation.
what does that fucking mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he's like, has to explain it. Like, do you think it was faster to say it that way?
God.
It is. I know. I do agree with her that it is a younger term. It has a feel to it. It's
my boyfriend.
But I've always said that once you have gray hair, you don't have boyfriends and girlfriends. I think you're fine until then.
Yeah, we've talked
like-
about this before. Like my like great uncle, he was like 85 and he had a girlfriend.
Right.
Both of them were widows and widowers, and they would just like hang out together. I don't think they would have sex or anything. They spend time together, and people were like, "That's his girlfriend Ethel," and I was like, "This is ridiculous. He's 90. He's fucking 90.
If your name's Ethel, you don't
have a boyfriend."
boyfriend.
Yeah. But I see where she's coming from if you want to talk about like the goddamn etymology of the word.
Right.
But what else, that's so, it's just like you're complicating things, because when someone says you have a boyfriend, if you say no, that signals, like, all right, then you're fair game. Then I'm going to start hitting on you. Then I want to try to be your boyfriend. And then you have to describe, you have to explain, no, wait, I do. I just don't like the term. Like, I can understand if you say you don't like the word fiance. A lot of people don't like that. So you can just say, like, I'm engaged to this person. Or, that's my future wife or whatever. Because, fiance, it's like this weird, like, French fancy term. I can get that. But, that's like an extra. It's like you still have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You can't, if you're in a relationship, you have to just use the term that
use the
everyone agrees
words.
upon.
Yeah.
Be normal.
It
Because
is-
you
and-
don't like it. You're the one person.
You make things very complicated for everybody. Because, yes, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, just
Done.
say yes.
Locked in.
Right.
Easy.
And even you can even say, I don't know, I don't like the term, but yes.
Yeah.
Fucking moron. Girls are dumb. Next up.
What's up, Fights KFC? Got a quick question for you. So I was watching Avatar here, pretty big, and thought it was really cool with the technology, what they were doing. That guy was able to get his legs back or whatever. So I was wondering what you guys would pick if you were to pick some technology from like a movie or from like a TV show like Black Mirror and that video game shit. What would you choose and why?
Can I
Thanks,
tell you
Viva.
something? I've never seen Avatar.
Me neither.
Okay, good.
Tried to watch it thrice, fell asleep every time.
I don't think I've ever watched it, even tried to watch it, because I feel like people like say how bad it is and how long it is and shit. But usually I would like that
I
kind of
think
stuff.
it's pretty well reviewed. I think it's a good movie. Nick?
Yeah, I like that one.
I feel like a lot of people, I think I would say it's polarizing then, because I feel like I've heard people who don't like it.
I think people are annoyed by James Cameron.
Yeah, I mean,
but
that's
I think
it.
the,
The actual
they
movie.
like.
I don't like the way they look. That turns me on.
Yeah, I
don't want to watch
I
this
don't-
blue monster movie. Not
Like-
monster, but like creature. You know,
Like, what's his thing where he's like, oh, I had this idea in like the 70s. I
Yeah.
can wait for technology to catch up.
Right.
Like, technology doesn't look that great, dude.
I was
It's a
gonna
fucking
say
cartoon.
It looks very, not like it looks goofy.
Yeah.
you know.
I agree with you on that, for sure.
But I guess something happened. What happened, Nick? This guy like gets his legs back or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's just able to walk through like the surrogate avatar body, and
Got
like,
it.
so he could experience walking again.
Did you see that? There's that video of the guy, the pianist, who his hands are like broken because of the what's the thing you have? Arthritis. And so he puts these gloves on and it lets him play again. And he starts like crying.
I think so. Yes.
I'm like, bro, I know you like playing piano, but if I get use of my hands back, there's something else I'm doing that's bringing a tear to my eye. Could you imagine you're like 90 and you can't jerk off anymore? And then all of a sudden these magical gloves let you crack stick again? Oh, what a moment that would be. That, I need one of those feel-good movies, feel-good viral videos where like there's a tear to his eye and he's just like...
I think I'd go with Face Off.
You want a new face.
I just get a new face. Yeah. If it was up to me, I would not wear this face.
If I could change faces like I change sneakers, I would change.
I'd
sure.
have a different option.
Wouldn't that be cool if like every year it's like, you upgrade? It's like there's the Jordan 2, the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4. It's like there's the Feidelberg 1, the Feidelberg 2, the Feidelberg 3.
Yeah, I'd be like the Jordan 19. It's just like, this one sucks.
Yeah, like imagine if you got to like a classic one, you're like, I'm just sticking with this one.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the 11. Like I'm good. This model is good to go. So like a technology that I would benefit from. I mean, I could for sure go with like a Krang from Ninja Turtles. Like this body stinks. I got a lemon of a body. This is just defective. If I could put my brain into like a little robot and I could just have like an android with this brain.
Yeah, that's
Definitely. This thing.
Whose body would you choose?
Stinks. In the whole world?
Yeah.
Matt Bomer's.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk to him on the podcast today. He is, I guess his face is more beautiful than anything, but his body is on point.
He's a
If you have to pick the body for men, it's Tyler Durden in Fight Club. I mean, that's the one.
He's so little.
So shredded. He's like,
But he's so little.
Is he?
I don't know.
Brad Pitt?
I'm gonna guess
Little?
like 5'7", 5'8". Everyone.
No, I think Brad Pitt's normal size.
Oh, I think you're right. Actually, I think
Yeah.
he is 6 feet tall.
Because I think he's perfect. I'm pretty sure he's perfect. So I would, give me my brain. I mean, well, I would love a different brain too. If I could just be a different person.
Yeah, I was
would
gonna say
be.
you're really holding on to that brain.
No, if
5'11".
Yeah, I mean that's as far as Hollywood goes, that's huge. If I could, get somebody else's brain and body, if I could just kill myself and come back as someone else, that would be great. But I'm assuming I got to stick with my body and my personality and shit. Give me that. Put me in Tyler Durden's body, like Krang and Ninja Turtles.
Hey guys, quick hypothetical for you. I'm very undecided. We were talking about it. Would you rather every time you had to charge your phone, it would be shut off? Or with this COVID pandemic, we go back to normal, but every 2 minutes you have to cough. And that's everyone in the world. Everyone in the world, every 2 minutes they're coughing. No mask, no nothing. We go back to normal, but
This
every
question
2 minutes
stinks,
you're
right?
coughing.
I mean, you charge your phone at night.
Yeah, your phone has to be off.
That's
what I don't get. I hate all the fucking charging mats, and I hate how those are becoming a big thing. Because when my phone's plugged in, I can still fucking use my phone while it charges.
I know. I do. I understand the appeal of like if I can just like come in and just like throw my phone down and it charges. But then as soon as you want to like talk and text while
Every time I
charging,
pick it
you
up,
can't.
it stops charging.
Yeah. By the way, I figured out the iPhone jack is the same. It just doesn't plug into the USB block anymore. The other end is not a USB. The other end is something else. So you can still plug So they did change the charger.
What
they
a
just
bunch of
changed.
fucking
Usually
cunts.
they change what plugs into the phone. Now they change what plugged into the block. They're such motherfuckers.
They changed that for 11. I actually have it, and it's actually awesome. Like my phone charges in 30
Well,
minutes.
so that's the thing. Like maybe the charger is better, but it is different. So you're gonna have to go for it.
Motherfuckers.
So that would be my answer. What was the other half of it?
Cough every 2 minutes.
I mean,
Is
that
it one
sucks.
cough? Is it just a? Because a coughing fit, I can't do.
I'm not gonna say a fit, but for the sake of the hypothetical, I think it goes like this: like three coughs. One,
Nope.
2, 1 every 2 minutes. That's a lot.
That's too much. I wouldn't do that.
That's if that's the other side of a hypothetical. A lot of times I'm gonna take the other thing.
Every 2 minutes is so often.
I mean, we couldn't do the job.
Right.
I mean, we'd have to have those cough buttons on like the old school radio. But let's say we couldn't do that. You could not have a speaking job. You couldn't give a speech. You couldn't give a presentation. You're on a date. You're having sex every 2 minutes.
It's also and more annoying than my cough would be everyone else's.
Yeah.
There's everyone on the planet. So at all times, you'll be hearing a
Someone
cough.
coughing.
Someone's coughing.
Because it's there 2 minutes.
Yes.
So it's just constant cough.
Forever, all you hear is a cough. It's actually, if you're ever in church and you realize
Zero in on it?
you realize that there's always someone making a noise, it becomes infuriating and ruins the homily.
It's like when you're listening, if you watch basketball and you just zero in on the sneakers and the ball.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy anything else.
And it's like, so that's all I would go crazy within 3 days of this happening.
Yeah. You got to just do that. You got to deal with whatever you want with the charger.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Last voicemail. Let's do it.
KFC fights BC. Nick, Jackie. Quick would you rather? Would you rather meet your female equivalent or male in looks or in personality? Viva.
Thereby implying like we're together or just like meet the person.
I think you're together.
Yeah, right. Like, you're gonna fall for them. I mean, I'm all personality, right?
Yeah, my equivalent in personality, because my equivalent in looks. Guess what? I punch above my weight class there.
Yeah.
I don't need fucking help
Bro,
with that one.
I mean, I've seen some of the doppelgangers of like the female Feidelbergs. It's not great. You know what I mean? I'm, and this is not to say that
I just moments ago said that if I could have
your face.
one superpower from any movie ever, it's I would get rid of my face. So you think I want to meet a fucking chubby fucking girl who has a big fucking nose, looks like she's swollen at all times? I look like a person who drowned last week.
it looks like I just pulled Feidelberg out of a river and propped him up here to do a podcast.
Someone said like,
in
oh my God, Fights always looks like he's on a bender. And maybe
it's a bender called life.
But like, it's just my life, man. Yeah. There are plenty of fucking times where I just like, I had a good 12 hours, like 12 hours, not 9, 12. I was in bed last night at 12:30. Like, it was fucking, I had a great night's sleep. And I'm like, guess what? I looked in the mirror and I was like, boy, you look terrible.
You ever see like the original X-Men where the guy, he's a human and he gets like some of the mutant stuff put in him and he eventually just like swells up and then just pops into jelly?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've seen it. That's what Feidelberg
Yeah,
looks
I'm
like.
a human version of a pimple. That is what why would I want to fuck that? Why would I want to fuck me? Are you fucking kidding me with that stupid ass question?
The question's crazy.
I'd like to meet a fucking hilarious person who makes me laugh all day.
Look, this is the guy I'm talking about. When he eventually just explodes into a jelly and becomes water. Can you play the video just so he sees exactly what I'm talking about? The guy just eventually look at this. He eventually just turns into goo. It's great.
That's me. That's just
look at that. He just pops into gelatin.
That's yo. Before he started turning blue, that just looked a lot like me.
By the way, I said by the way 60 times this episode. What you have to be a pretty boy to answer looks. Yeah, unless you're Timothy Chalamet, who's saying looks.
Oh, I'd like to meet a woman who fucking is my equivalent. Like, fuck.
Unless you're Brad Pitt, Ryan Reynolds, Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
I mean, who is answering
every
looks?
Guy fucking fucks people hotter than his equivalent.
Yeah, because of their personality.
Because you have a personality, because of...
Can you imagine how stupid are girls that they're like, that joke's funny, you can come inside me.
Every girl,
what?
Every woman listening to this podcast, you should have been born a lesbian.
Yeah.
Because it fucking sucks having to fuck me.
That's terrible.
It fucking sucks.
Or anybody like me. You know, not just me. Anybody like me.
Just having to fuck this fucking mess.
This mound of human. just a lump of a human. Ugh.
You have to be careful fucking me, because if your earring punctures me the wrong way, I might explode.
Might deflate. God, stupid fucking question.
Yeah.
Made me feel bad about myself. All right, interviews time. We got two great ones here. Chris Bosh is one of like the great conversationalists of our time. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's a great combo. And he tells it like it is. Told us some great like behind the scenes Lebron stuff about like what he's been texting with him after this championship, what they used to talk about during the Heat days with the not 5, not 6, not 7, all that stuff. So a great interview with Bosh. It's brought to you by Thursday Boots, bootstrap company that has shaken up the industry and is rising to the top with high-quality boots that they sell at direct-to-consumer, unbeatable prices. Head over to ThursdayBoots.com and try a pair today with free shipping and free returns. For any reason, if you don't like your size or fit, they've got you covered. And use the survey afterwards to let them know that we sent you there. Thursday Boots presents Chris Bosh.
What's up, bud?
Man?
How you guys doing, man?
Good, bro.
Great. How about
doing?
you?
Oh man, shoot, if I complain, who give a damn, right?
I'll tell you what, no one gives a shit if I complain, and I complain all the time. So.
All right, there you go. It's good to know. Make sure I keep mine to a minimum. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we always go through everybody's background now that we're doing things from home with Zoom. I see some nice family pictures. What's that plaque back there? What's that Georgia Tech plaque? Is that like player of the year?
Yeah, that's I was inducted to the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's like my young picture. That's like little 18-year-old CB about to go through the gambit. You know?
Yeah, man.
How many of these books have you read?
Yeah, what's up with the books? These real books or these just for show?
Yeah, those are real books. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. Yeah, half of them.
You can lie.
Right.
I'm not gonna ask you for a fucking book report. You can like all of them, dude.
Well, one of them, like that one, is like it's pretty much like a dictionary, like music on music business, and then the other one's on music publishing, and then I just like Walter Isaacson, so he always writes some crazy stuff.
So you're getting into that's what we're here to talk about today. You get into the music game, so you're trying to read up on it and learn, or is it something that you've always known and always been into, or are you trying to you got to teach yourself the basics?
You do have to teach yourself the basics. There is a mode of that, and then I guess like once you get advanced or whatever, it kind of turns into this thing where, I'm a grown up now, unfortunately, and you got to know law, you got to know taxes, you got to know all those boring things that Dad used to talk about.
You're also rich,
Chris. What are you doing, dude? You're rich,
right? You don't have to do that stuff. You pay people to do that for you.
Just go sit on the beach, bro.
Yeah,
I know. For sure, I hear you. But then, some professionals do. When you don't watch them, Chris, we brought these, and you don't know what it is. It's like, okay, no, I can't do that. That's why I had to grow up. I was a kid playing basketball.
I know it's so weird. I'm always so fascinated with the idea that you hit let's say 34, and people are like, "Oh, I love it."
Yeah, all right. Here it is. That's the
my man. See, you're not a grown up yet. You're still a kid.
We get not all the way just yet. Come on,
what are you sipping on right there?
Some beer. We got some St. Arnold Art Car IPA.
We're gonna grab a couple beers. We're Miller Lite guys over here. We're gonna crack a couple with you. We can't let you drink alone, man. Which I do love that you were doing without us, though. Cheers to Chris Bosh.
Cheers, bud. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Yeah.
But I am always fascinated with the transition out of sports, because you hit 34 and people are like, this dude is so old.
Right.
Get him out of here. He's washed up. And I start to think of that, like even LeBron, I'm like, and he's still going, but I'm like, oh my God, the old man's still doing it. He's in his 30s. It's crazy.
For sure, man. For sure. It's kind of an interesting thing. I never got to be the old guy. I was getting older. I stopped playing when I was 32. But you can kind of see the end, but then the language changes. It's like, yeah, you look young out there. Why do I have to look young? I've been playing the same game for more than a decade.
Yeah.
At that level. But it is what it is. I mean, people have that narrative, and then you go from that being the OG in the locker room to you'll go to something else in real life, and it's like, oh, hey, young man.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, what do you know? When I was in my 30s, it's like, oh.
Dude, they talk about that. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm from Boston, and they're like Julian Edelman. He's a great veteran presence in the locker room. I'm like, Edelman is my age, and I'm an asshole. What could he possibly be like? You can obviously teach the younger guys the ways of the world, but I don't know much about the world.
You could teach your world. You could teach sports and all that. But who's to say? He doesn't know much yet about marriage and love and kids and business, and there's a million things that you still have to learn throughout your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. A lot of people, for some reason, maybe it's only in America, they think that money and ability, but money in particular, like if you get $1 million, you're supposed to be educated. You're supposed to know these certain things. And it's, you know, I've been in moments where I'm like, no, I'm a kid. I just came from where I came from, and we didn't eat vegetables. Am I supposed to eat vegetables all of a sudden because, you know, I got a contract, or because you see a person being mature on the court and watching them in their element? Naturally, you'll think, oh, well, he must have, or she must have everything together. And nobody does in this world, right? So that's always kind of a fascinating thing to kind of come to grips with and learn and understand as you get older.
Right. I mean, especially as you guys, you know, I'm looking back at that plaque. You were so young, and that whole draft class, man. I mean, everybody. Oh yeah. You still had kids coming out of high school. You were only a freshman, like that. And which, by the way, how sick is it to be a part of a draft class that arguably probably is like just the greatest of all time? Those names are fucking crazy.
It's crazy, man. You know, we all came up like at the same time.
So
I mean,
cool.
You know, it happens all the time. But yeah, me and Melo played on the USA basketball team in 2002 in Venezuela for the Championship of the Americas.
Yeah.
Darren Williams was on that team too. Andre Iguodala was on that team too. We're all 18 years. We haven't even gone to college yet. You know, Bron, we were, you know, going at it. I think our team played his team like 2 or 3 times during the summer going into my senior year. And, you know, you come up with all these different guys, and, you know, now we're to that stage where, unfortunately, I'm not playing anymore, but watching them continue to play, watching Melo continue to play, it's just an amazing thing.
Is that
thing.
something?
I mean,
is that tough? I mean, obviously it got cut short for you because of health. Where do you think you would? How do you think it would have gone for you the last few years? You think you would have moved on? You think you'd be in a couple different franchises? You think you would have paired back up with LeBron? Would you, if you could have scripted how it would have gone in a dream scenario? What would have gone down?
Well, I would have finished my contract with the Heat. And, you know, I talked with Pat Riley about it. Man, we had a pretty good team last year, and we felt that we could have competed for a championship. I think we were 2nd or 3rd in the East. We were duking it out with Toronto for that 2 seed. We were clicking. We had a year with Goran, had a whole year with Luol. Hassan was amazing, and nobody really knew about him. We felt that we were putting together a championship contending team, and we were right there. But, you know, that's where it all came to an end. I would have liked to have thought that we'd compete, hopefully, you know, Eastern Conference Finals. Then I was cool with the result after that. We could go for it. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I was very aware that I was going to be 35 coming out of a contract. And, yeah, I was thinking, okay, how can I compete, you know, to reach the mountaintop again? Once you feel it one time, I mean, that's all it is. You know, that's all that exists. So if you have a chance to be on a good enough team to compete for it, man, by all means, go and compete for it. But in my mind, I definitely would have liked to have thought I would have got one more contract, hopefully with a championship contender.
You would have been a nice veteran presence in there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Man. I know my worth. You know what I mean? I would have been the old man. You know,
do you have
Chris Bosh off the bench? And you know,
do you have like an old man or an OG or a veteran presence helping you in the music game?
I don't want to call them old. I do have presences. They're my peers, great friends, singer-songwriter and producer, Rico Love, out in Miami. He's been a tremendous influence in helping me.
Did your time in Miami affect the music game? I feel like that's a good spot to have.
Oh no,
some
absolutely,
time.
And I still go back and forth every now and then. I'm in Miami, but yeah,
and even Toronto too, man. I mean, both towns you were in have music influences.
Yeah, not so much Toronto. I was trying actually to learn how to play, the piano in Toronto, and I gave up after like a month.
Well, you got out of there before Drake and The Weeknd, right?
Yeah.
No, Drake was going. I got out of there before The Weeknd. When my first year in Miami, I distinctly remember my friends from Toronto coming over, and it was my birthday, and they were playing the House of Balloons like over and over and over. And I'm like, yo, who? Look, okay, Drake made it, guys. Okay, somebody else. You guys are reaching. But, Drake was around. when we were kids. You know, I
Drake,
think,
I'll give Drake the credit, like great credit there, where he still feels like a young guy to me.
Yeah.
Like he still feels, and maybe that's because of like his fans and I'm a fan too.
He's a couple years younger than me. Yeah, he's a couple years younger than me, and I think he was just grinding. I mean, everybody in Toronto at the time was familiar with each other, but somebody from like a Canadian artist actually ascending in that hip hop genre or whatever, like actually ascending to the top, it was unrealistic. And then, I mean, he dropped his mixtape and it just kept growing slowly but surely. And, it's crazy just to even think about those days. I mean, we were just hanging out, everybody concentrating on doing their own thing. And then, everything just kind of blows up for a select amount of people, and just kind of to watch it happen like that is crazy to think about it.
And so that's what we're hoping for in this second act, right? I mean, you're onto the music game. What are we running a label? Are we producing? What would you say your role here is? What's your goal?
I'm doing both right now. We just created a label, Daddy Jack Records. I have been producing. It's crazy to think about it, for 4.5, 5 years now. And that's when I first started picking things up and first started learning. I decided to create a label and really just go for it. I mean, I love music. I love the music business. I love the opportunities that it provides. And to be quite frank with you, man, it was just something that naturally spoke to me. I'm trying to, the first bout with blood clots, I'm trying to figure out, well, what the hell am I going to do? I've never had to answer that question. What are you going to do outside of basketball? Ever. Mm-hmm. And then next thing I know, I'm strumming a guitar, trying to play it and trying to pick it up. And then I'm in front of the computer trying to program beats. And then I'm asking people for advice. And then I'm in the studio and now we're writing songs. It was nice. It was a nice gradual process.
Now, did you help write with Desi Brown's song, I Want It All?
Yeah, it's always a collective effort. I know it kind of gets a little fuzzy with who wrote it, who produced it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If we're all in the room together, it's a collaborative effort. Deezy and I, we've been working on some great chemistry. We've been working together for 2 years now. And so, every day is a challenge, but there's so many other facets to it, like, paperwork, lawyers, artwork.
You gotta hire people to do that.
I'm telling you,
like,
man.
I'm not doing that.
I know, but like even the earlier stage, like hire someone to get the mail and be like, yo, you just do this stuff, whatever it is.
For sure. And that's been great. We do have, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to do everything. We do have a great team. And we're building it constantly. But I kind of supervise over everything. But eventually, hopefully, my passion is in producing. So keeping an eye on the record label, making sure the business is good. People will do their job there. I'll keep an eye on it. But I think my strength is the creative aspect and really putting ideas together.
What's the goal? I've always wondered this. Like when you set out to start a label or produce whatever, you trying to win Grammys? You're trying to sell records? I mean, obviously you'd love to do all of it, but is it money first and foremost? Is it the art? Is it the awards?
It's the art. Yeah, it's the art first and foremost. But then I watched Brian get another trophy, so I'm like, dang. I text him too, like, yo, I'm getting back in there. I got to get another trophy, man.
Yeah, right. You want that hardware?
The second one since I was done playing.
Dude, he is.
And I have great friends that have won Grammys too. And I remember being particular friends breaking for sessions, and then they're just being so mentally drained and exhausted. But then 6 months later, I'm seeing them on the Grammy stage accepting their award. So that, and with Kobe was a great friend of mine, and he was telling me one day how he was going to win an Oscar. We're both retired, we're having dinner, and he's like, yeah, this is happening. I'm doing this Dear Basketball thing. I win an Oscar. And, I went back home like, yeah, everybody, how's Kobe? How's Kobe? Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think he finally lost it. He said he's going to Oscar.
Dude,
You
got those friends with those big dreams. You're like, dude, you're a nutcase, man.
Yeah.
Like,
what I'm saying?
I want to support you. I'm going to be there for you, but also maybe set the bar a little lower, man.
It's so funny.
Right, for sure.
Everybody's got that story.
But then he's like this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, okay. Never, ever. But he had a plan. He had the system intact. He knew what he was doing. So that has been hugely inspiring for me. That was inspiring for me before what happened. But his spirit, is still there. I have conversations with him every day, and he's pushing me every day.
Everybody who has that story, when you tell it in the moment, it's like, John said he's going to win an award. And then when he does win it, you're a part of the documentary and you go like, we all knew like he had it in him,
I'm not that guy. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm like, yeah, nah.
You were crazy.
And, even the Drake thing, right? Nobody thought Drake. If anybody from Toronto says, oh, yeah, Drake, we knew. Unless you were in that camp in the studio with him, there was no way you knew that it was going to go to the level it did. Those guys were putting in the work. They had their plan. They executed it, and it worked.
The plan that LeBron keeps executing seems to keep on working, man. He's a freak. He's a nut. When you were talking to him, when you were texting afterwards, anything else that he had to say regarding this latest ring that you can at least share with us?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, it's not even about those things. I think it's more in the hindsight. I think for him right now, once you win one, it's like, okay, we gotta win another one, because it's only a certain small window if you have a championship contending team. With him, I guess if you switch teams, you can elongate that window. But yeah, I mean, it's just about the next. It's always about the next thing coming.
Who do you think he was talking about when he said, "Put some respect on my name"?
Critics.
I
believe.
I
that's
believe
that's
that
me.
too.
That's just my opinion.
The debate around here was that was directly about the Jordan versus LeBron debate, because guys around here said, well, who else could it be? And I was like, are you serious? There's a million people who criticize LeBron, A million. Like, it doesn't have
and
to.
they try not to put him in that space, and they always, it's kind of like not appreciating greatness as we're watching it happen.
Oh, yeah. Totally taking it for granted.
I think this title made LeBron versus MJ, if it didn't seal the deal to you, it made the debate more boring. Where like you used to have more of a leg to stand on, where now it's like he's done it everywhere. He's done it 4 times in 3 different cities with all these different
Laker, you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, like revived just dead franchises. It's not fun to me, at least. It's just like it's not fun anymore. Mm-hmm. There used to be like interesting arguments. This is all you can say is it's different generations.
And that's what it is. I mean, I never liked the comparison anyway, because if you were to compare styles, MJ was more like a ninja assassin. He's gonna scale the walls, do acrobatic feats, and just dismantle you with fundamentals. LeBron is more of a continuity player. He's into the flow of the game, passes it, of course, a little bit more, but he's a point guard, and he gets not that Jordan didn't, but LeBron seems to be more focused on getting guys involved. And
that's why
he's going to score the way he scores.
Even when the game 5 loss, I guess, when he passed it Danny Green, and people were like, well, Jordan never would have passed that. It's like, yeah, I know. Jordan never passed it, period. And LeBron does. LeBron's always.
But then, Steve Kerr, top of the key. Yeah. Right? 9, what was that, 9-7?
Yeah. So that happened. Judge Bushler or Paxson, yeah. I mean, it happened.
You know what I mean? Well, he passed it to Grant first. Well, Jordan brought it up, got off the ball, went to Pippen to Grant, boom, back out to the wing to Paxson. So, you're very aware of, you know how to play the game. Right. It's just everybody has their different styles.
In all your years with him, did he ever directly address any of the LeBron MJ talk?
Never.
Never,
ever, ever, ever. It's not even, it's so funny to watch people. Who's the GOAT? I've hung with Kobe. I've hung around Jordan, Magic, Bron. Never heard a word of it. You know, it's an argument that nobody cares about.
Do you think that, because, like, maybe not in front of you, do you think that in front of a family member, a friend, do you think they ever address it, like, in privacy, deep, dark corners?
Privacy, I would.
Yeah.
You ask me things, I'm a competitor. You ask me, I'm the best 4-man that ever lived.
Right.
If it wasn't for Tim Duncan. Is that true? Probably not. But I feel that way, you know.
Do you think Bron winning one with Rondo makes, because I know you were a part of why that Celtics team, first of all, got dismantled. Second of all, why they fell out of kinship with Ray Allen, because he went to go play with you guys.
Yeah.
And like they all just stopped talking to him, right? Like they all shut him out of their lives. And it like became this, I'm from Boston, so like it became this weird rallying thing that like everyone loved. Like it's so cool. And for a split second there, it was cool. Like when we still had that rivalry before you guys just fucking again got rid of us as a team, it was still cool being like, yeah, to hell with him, fuck him. And then it got silly over the years.
Yeah.
And now that Rondo's gone and won with Bron, it's incredibly silly.
Right. I mean, I think sometimes it's kind of hyper focused in the beginning, and hey, we all get in our feelings, right? And yeah, if I totally get it. Ray coming to Miami, how people would not like that. But eventually, it's a game, and we compete. You compete as hard as you can. You try your best to do your best, right? You put in all the work you can, and then afterwards, man.
But they just had the 10-year reunion of that team winning the championship. They didn't invite Ray.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see, guys not be. I mean, now with that said, I don't know anything about the story, but in moments like that, have the whole band, or don't do it at all. But that's on them. They can do whatever.
Well, it's also easy to say, when you were a part of the dynasty, and you guys were winning, so
totally
it's all gravy.
Easy for me to say.
It's all gravy for anybody in Miami.
100%.
Right.
And like I say, hey man, I'm not on the Boston Celtics 10-year reunion committee.
Right.
They can.
Things were a lot more fun in my. How fun was that, dude? I mean, that must have been. I mean, and you had your moments with the Spurs and the Mavs where you fell short, and I'm sure there was some criticism, and it wasn't all gravy, it wasn't all roses, but for the most part, balling with that crew in that city must have been unbelievable.
The more we get removed from it, the more we understand. Like every time I go back to Miami, people pull me to the side, even if I'm just walking down, pre-COVID and everything. But they would be just like, man, you remember how it was. It was more than just a basketball game. Every game, like Floyd is there, Ray Ross is there, Khaled is there,
Bieber was a big Heat fan that day.
The Biebs is in town tonight. Pat Riley's up there sitting with Michael Douglas. You know what I mean? And that's a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, wait till the Lakers, come to town.
It was
just a fun time.
It was a circus every Heat game. I remember.
For sure.
And like I didn't see all of them obviously, but I remember every Heat game I watched. It was like amazing. Like when it would be like
a lot of fun.
It was like what was it? What do they call it? Celebrity Row in LA, whatever it is. It's like, or is that in New York?
No, either way, but it was one of those cities.
Everyone again, like you said, on a Tuesday night, it was crazy. I remember, dude, that like even that. I was probably mid college at that point, and maybe mid to late college, whatever it was. And like we were living in the summer, and we like went out to go watch your like announcement party, where like the not one, not two, and like we gotta go to a bar to watch this.
Where were you?
I was in Newport, Rhode Island.
You were in Newport. They showed that on TV there?
Yeah. It was everywhere, man.
So let me tell you. So I know, everybody we can laugh at it now. Everybody kind of gives us a tough time. But dude, we didn't know that was televised everywhere. At least I didn't know. It's like, oh yeah, Fox Sports, Miami, the South.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't know it was, at least I didn't know it was televised everywhere. So
how kind of in that moment, were you like, was there any part of you that was like, this is a little silly, or you were like, fuck it, let's just go have some fun?
I want it all.
Yeah.
Look at this. There's 20,000 people here, and it's no basketball, and
crazy.
Come to find out, like it was already set up for a concert.
Yeah.
We were just that in between day, and so I watched wrestling all my life. So I knew exactly what to do. You can watch the replay. You saw what I was doing. I'm like, crowd activation, baby. Give it to him, baby. Ric Flair. You got to give him that Ric Flair. Hey. How y'all feeling tonight over here, baby?
You know what's so funny though? Like when you put it that way, that sounds like fun and likable. Like if you guys were maybe able to preface that or explain yourselves afterwards, where it was like, yeah, man, to me that was like I was living out a childhood dream of being a wrestler, as opposed to the people who hated on you guys thought of that as like arrogance and like they're so cocky, and it's like I was pretending to be fucking Ric Flair for the night, man. Leave me alone.
I mean, it's one of the things too. Like, what do you think happened? Do you think we, said, "Hey, we're coming to Miami. All right, we need a stage over here. All right, I want the crowd there." We didn't plan it,
right?
But I still understand, why. Everyone reacted the way they did. I totally get it. We're in our own world, bro.
I saw you on Shannon Sharp's podcast, and you were talking about how, like, I never realized that it got cut. Where LeBron, he didn't say we're coming here. He said like we don't want to win just one, or we don't want we want to come here and win. Not one, not two, not three.
Of course we want,
and it's just like we want to. Of course we want to. He wasn't guaranteeing it, but it's cut so short that it seems like he's making a guarantee up there.
We gave it right to him.
Yeah.
Not one, not two, and then it gets spun, and it's like, oh boy.
Was there ever a talk like, yo, Bron, you had to say 8, dude. You couldn't have stopped at 3. You had to say 7 and 8, man.
Hey, for real, we were there. In my mind, I said, yo, we could win. We could be the first team to win 4 championships in a row. And
it wasn't that crazy. If it wasn't for Tim Duncan.
You're just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Yeah, you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, man. You're not really thinking about how hard it is. You don't know how hard it is. You don't know about what's about to come your way. You don't know that you're about to go on stage and people will perceive that you're going to win 8 championships in a row. You know what I'm saying? We got thrown a lot of curveballs pretty quick, but that's the business, and we had to learn that. And
well, it was still a pretty successful run, Chris. Yeah, I mean, you made it out.
Yeah. With that said, look, we still delivered on some fronts. It's extremely hard winning the championship. It's hard going back to back. I have so much more respect for the Laker teams and the Bulls teams that did it, because it's damn near impossible to three-peat, but. We had a crack at it, and that's all you can ask for sometimes.
Amen, man. We're going to wrap up here with a couple questions from the internet. It's a game we play called Answer the Internet. Yeah, hypothetical questions and whatnot. Just start off with the free throw one here.
Okay. Let's say you're at the free throw line, okay?
Yeah.
If you miss it, wait, what is this?
You hit one shot at a free throw. You make it, you get $10 million. Yeah. You miss it, you can never text message ever again. No, and no DMs, no type of written communication ever again. You taking that shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would I take it? Yeah. I'll take it. Can I warm up or?
No, you know what?
So many factors.
You're coming in cold. You're the first basketball player.
As long as we're not outside. If we're outside, I'm not taking that bet. If it's like one of them park rims with
like the triple rims and the metal net. All right.
I'm not taking that. They took enough of my money at the carnivals. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
If
so
we're
indoors,
in the gym, I'll take that.
Indoor, you take it. All right.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
All right. You were on Entourage. If you could have a cameo on any current television show, what would it be?
Any current TV
show.
Man, dude, I don't even watch TV.
Really? Nothing in retirement?
Nah, man.
I
probably. Man, I guess I would go with Fargo because Chris Rock is in it.
There you go. That's a
and
good one
it's such a crazy story, and everybody is like so into their characters. I definitely,
very well respected too. And they do. There's always a lot of cameos in that, and people are like, "Oh shit, you were the guy in Fargo." So good choice.
Absolutely, yeah.
If your girlfriend's birthday or wife's birthday lands on the biggest sports day of the year, how do you play it? Let's say
sports day.
Let's say Game 7 happened, and your wife's birthday was Tuesday night. What are you doing?
Let me see. Man, I would have a conversation with her and see how she feels. And if she's like, nah, let's, that reservation that you said you booked, let's go do it. We do it. Yeah. But I would only watch Game 7 with permission. For sure.
Is there a feeling when you, I was about to say when you graduate, once you retire, is there a feeling of like, you know what, you've pretty much like lived on my schedule for the last, 10 years, and now it's your turn? You have to kind of like, does she drive for now?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm totally, with that. I mean, my wife in particular, she held it down for so long. I mean, you don't understand how much the wife does into your home day to day.
Right.
And I mean, like the minute I wasn't playing basketball anymore and didn't have that schedule, I remember coming downstairs. I got a lot of kids, and I remember just coming down and being like, man, it's loud in here. Really loud, And she's like, yeah, make sure they're in the playroom before your nap. You know what I'm saying? So it's those little things like that you don't even see coming or even even think. Yeah, she's got it all. She can do what she wants.
It probably helps for you even to have that structure. Because when was the last time before sports ended that you were in complete control of your life? 16 years old?
Man, yeah. I control, right? And I'm living under my parents' roof. I would say 16 going into 17. I would say 17, only because that is when it really got picked up. That's when I became a serious prospect. Mm-hmm. Like when I was 16, it's like, okay, this kid maybe can play. And then, I was pretty much top player in Texas. And so that's when the narrative changed a lot. So that's when it was basketball, pick you up, game, hook. If you're not at practice or not, somebody is checking up. It's either a coach, a mom, a parent, a friend. Where were you? So, the checks and balances started happening quite quickly. But I'll say 16 and a half, 17.
All right. You're put in charge of running Heck. It's the afterlife for people who aren't quite bad enough for hell. What is a punishment you decide?
We're in Heck. What's something that I would make them do?
We've gotten you have to stand in line without a phone.
Yeah, what's the most aggravating thing you go through on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, man.
You know what? I'll throw out an answer for you. You have to sit in Chris Bosh's kid's playroom and just hear.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You gotta, man. That's a good one. But it's so rewarding in the end.
Yeah. Well, other people's kids, though.
I would
your
take
kids is fine.
Your kids. I would take a person. If you didn't have any kids, you got to go with multiple kids in the playroom, and you've got to get out of here by being a good person and doing what they want to do.
That might be for hell. That might not be Heck. That might be hell.
Last one. We're going to let you go on this. Would you rather be a pig and be able to orgasm for 30 minutes or be a lion and who has sex 60 times a day?
Good grief.
Yeah, so it's one giant one or 60 times. Quantity over quality.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Pigs is 30 minutes.
Yep.
Who comes up with this stuff? I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the pig, man. Lion, you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down, baby. You can't be just out there like that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have kids everywhere, child support. That's not a joke.
All right, man. Thanks so much. Really looking forward to this second career here, man. I'm gonna check out the music. And
DZ Brown's out now. I Want It All. It's about a little Kobe tribute, all platforms.
All platforms. And we're gonna keep coming every month at Daddy Jack Records. Daddy Jack Records is coming, man. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much, Chris. Great talking to you, man.
Appreciate it. Nice talking to you guys.
All right, big thanks to the Bostrich getting into the music game now. He's just I never would have guessed it. I don't know why. I never thought one way or the other about Chris Bosh, about how he talks and how he converses and all that, but it's interesting.
It is an interesting one,
right?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just out of all the people we've talked to, you want to have a really good conversation about life and sports. Chris Bosh is right at the top of the list. Also at the top of this list, Matt Bomer, who I'm really happy we had Bomer on, because at one point I got to talk to him about something. He's probably the best looking person we've ever talked to, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Right?
Probably.
Male or female. And I got to finally just lay it on the line with someone who is strikingly good looking. Just tell me the fucking truth about what it's like to be as good looking as you are. And I'll be honest, he has a good answer. He's sneaky with it, but it is a good answer. But it's interesting to be, that's like talking to Michael Jordan and be like, tell me what it's like about when you have a basketball in your hands. Matt Bomer, what does it look like when you look in the fucking mirror? Just tell me.
He also stereotyped us.
Oh, we were profiled like a motherfucker. Love the guy, and I understand what he's doing. As soon as I can always tell what happens with when you're doing an interview. You can always tell what kind of guy you're getting right away. You can either get someone who like just woke up and is like mailing it in and doesn't care, or you can get a guy who right away is asking you questions and he comes with energy and he's like, "What's up, guys?" And Matt was that dude right away. And I like when people ask, they turn the tables a little bit.
He was very quick. He's just like, "How you guys doing?
Yes.
What's up today?"
And then it becomes a two-way street. It's not just QA. I hate that. That's why I like to interject and we have a normal conversation. And he was doing that right away. But in that process comes like you got to steer the topics, like you got to ask questions and drive traffic the way you think the conversation should go. And we were profiled like a motherfucker because Matt is this stunningly handsome actor and he's gay, he's acting, he's in the arts, he's creative, he's the opposite of us in a lot of ways. And so he was trying to relate to us by just bringing up sports and football and fantasy sports. And at every turn, he would be like, "That's like my fantasy team. Am I right, guys? Like, that's like that tackle yesterday on the football field, right?" And he does know football. He's not like faking it. But I was like, "Yo, wrong show, bud. We want to talk about, your play.
Yeah.
We want to talk about
boys in the band, man. What's that?
We want to talk about kissing dudes and handsome boys.
I
stuff.
didn't know Matt was a dad.
Yeah.
I regret leaving him off the top 5 hottest dads.
Oh yeah, he's right to the fucking top, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kept being, that's like, "How's your fantasy team doing?" It's like, well, doesn't exist.
I don't know,
because I'm one of the worst.
Ask me again in 2007, Matt.
It's like you are talking to the 2 worst straight guys on the planet. So how about we talk about some gay stuff, man? So we were profiled, but it was a great talk. He's an awesome dude.
He was the man. I very, very much enjoyed Matt Bomer.
What up, guys?
Yo.
Matt, what is going on, dude?
What's up, pal?
How are you?
Oh, you look obnoxiously handsome over Zoom.
Oh, stop it.
No, fuck you. You know it, too. You know it.
Guys, look how fucking professional I am today.
Yeah, look at you with the mic and everything, man.
Sirius sent me this for when we had to do a bunch of these, things when there are like 12 people talking at once. So if it's excessive, just let me know and I'll put it away. But I've hung on to it just for you guys.
Thank you. We appreciate
all
it, man.
this time.
I like how
you
you didn't call this bullshit. You said these things. Like, you could call it bullshit. It's all right.
Yeah. I mean,
This is the gig,
it's,
right?
It's what it is. This is what we do, right?
Yeah, is this so? Ray Lewis has a quote, like a famous quote that I always love, where he was talking about like his contract in terms of football, where he's like, "You pay me for Monday through Saturday. Sunday I give you for free." Is that how acting is?
Bro,
like they
that
pay
is
you for
my
this?
mantra. I mean, you can ask any one of my representatives. What I always tell them is, I act for free. I get paid to do press.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I feel like all
it's
actors
all the
usually
other
are.
rigmarole. It's all the other rigmarole that goes around it. This really feels like work in a different way, because what we do. I mean, there are aspects of the job that do feel like work. Just the, 4 a.m. call times or 16-hour days sometimes can feel like it. But when I'm actually getting to act, it never feels like work to me.
What's the worst interview you had to do so far for this? You can name them.
Well, it's not about the people or the show or anything like that. It was more that I had to do a morning show in New York. So I had to be on camera at 5 a.m. my time, actually trying to sound coherent.
Yeah.
And they didn't have, they used a different platform. So we weren't on Zoom. I actually had to set up an iPad and kind of use books to hold it in the right place so it wouldn't tip over. So it was so precariously balanced at 5 a.m., and I couldn't see anybody. I just had to look. I could hear them. And they were like, "Do you have 2 sets of AirPods that we can use? One to connect to this one?" And I was like, "Who do you people think you're talking to? Like, what do you just ask everybody who comes onto your show if they have 2 sets of AirPods? Because that's kind of a
look. I'm a celebrity. I'm not
question.
that rich. I mean, come on.
Come on.
2 sets of AirPods. You got to swimming in it.
So thankfully, it all worked out. They were great. It all worked out fine. But I couldn't see anybody either, which also kind of makes it strange to have a conversation. I'm taking a picture of us right now, guys. Just so I have
no.
that.
I mean,
I am.
You know what?
Can you make sure you're not in it, please?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Yikes.
What's going on, you guys? What's going on in New York right now? How is it? What's the climate? What's the
dead.
goods?
Yeah, I mean, it's good though. I like it like that.
I'm being sarcastic. Everyone wants New York to be dead, so it's always like, oh, look what happened to the liberal stronghold, and we're doing just fine, thank you. Like, Like,
Good.
The bars are open, the taps are flowing.
That's it.
We sit on
That's
the
all you
street
need.
and drink. It's beautiful.
There's drinking going on. That's all that matters. That's
if only the Jets and the Giants were playing a little better, life would be, you know.
Where are you from? You're Missouri originally, right?
Yeah, so I spent half my childhood in St. Louis and half my childhood outside of Houston. So, but by the time I became a football fan, I was in Houston. So I was really an Oilers fan, and I went through all those heartbreak years during the run and shoot, Warren Moon.
Yeah. And then where did you go from there? Did you follow them to Tennessee? Did you stick with the Texans? Like, how does that work?
So, well, no, I haven't gone there yet. I went to college in Pittsburgh at Carnegie Mellon. So I kind of went to some Steelers games there, but I wouldn't say that they're my number one team or anything. Once the Oilers became the Titans, I followed them for a little bit. And then once we got to LA and we had kids, it was like I told our oldest, who's a huge football fan, I said, look, we have to decide on who our team's going to be. And this is back when LA didn't have two teams to choose from. So I was like, are we going to be the Chargers? Are we going to be the Raiders? Or are we going to be the Niners? And he chose the Niners. And since then, we have been diehard Niners fans through the good and the bad, the thick and the thin. And every year, usually, we go up to a game, and it's like a great kind of bonding experience for us to have where we go up. And
how old is he now?
He's 15.
Oh, wow.
That's actually that's a pretty cool experience and pretty unique to have like a father-son be like, look, my team, the team I had allegiance to was gone. Yeah. So who do you want? Yeah. Like, let's go in this together. Usually like me, I was forced into, I'm from Boston. I'm from outside Boston. And so like, it was just like, I actually, as a kid, I liked the Rangers, and my dad was just like, nah, you don't. You're a Bruins fan, and so like I'm happily a Boston fan, obviously with our recent history.
Boston is such a great town to be a sports fan in.
Yeah, I'd say so, Matt. Yeah, I mean it's obnoxious, is what it is. I went through a phase. I'm going through the phase, not passing my teams on to my kids. Because I am a Mets, Jets, Knicks fan, and it's been absolutely fucking miserable. And it has not been fun. And people say things like, well, it builds character, or when you do win, it's going to be that much sweeter. And it's like, well, not really, because no, A, it's probably not going to happen. And B, by the time it does happen, I'll be like 45 and I'm old and I'm not having fun anymore. Like this guy got to win when he was a teenager and then win when he was in college and win when he's in his 20s. And you party and you have fun. Who cares if I win one when I'm like 1,000? So why don't, I'm not going to do that to my kid. I think it's abuse. I think it's abusive to make my kids root for my teams.
And it's tricky. I mean, I guess it's your call. I had one of our 12-year-olds say to me last year after the Niners lost in the Super Bowl, he was like, "Do you think they'll ever get into the Super Bowl again?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, you just don't
There's
know.
No guarantees, man.
I'm assuming it will happen just based on the legacy of the franchise, but you don't know."
Yeah,
but it's great. It's such a cool. San Fran is such a great town, and the fact that we every year get to go up there and. I mean, it used to be a lot easier before it was in Santa Rosa. Now we just kind of drive down, but we just hang out in San Fran. I'd take them to Chinatown. We'd have a great weekend experience, and then we'd go to the game. It was kind of a perfect 3-day weekend.
Those weekends are always the best. My dad and I used to do it. We were Patriots fans, but my like grandfather, because the Patriots weren't around when he was a kid, so he was a Giants fan. So he had Giant season tickets. So we'd go to one game a year where we'd like take the Acela down from Boston. And then we'd like spend get a hotel and like do like a weekend in the city. And those are like the best weekends of my life. The father-son aspect you can get with sports or just any shared interest is always like, all right, this is I can see myself like being happy and growing up with this. Where just like the connection you make with your dad is impossible to beat on those.
Yeah, it's a great way to connect with anyone in your family. I mean. I know my dad is, I guess for college, I'm like a Memphis State or University of Memphis, I should say now fan because of my dad as well. That was the one thing that was passed down because he played for what was Memphis State at the time. So
that one you didn't have a choice on.
That was the one mandate.
You're rooting for Memphis. Yeah.
My dad had all these, because he was drafted by Dallas, and so he had all these kind of conflicted emotions about like Jerry Jones and all these other things, and so we didn't end up going to a ton of NFL games growing up. We would watch them together.
Despite the fact he got drafted, because he did what, 2 years in the league?
No, one. He got injured early on, and they already had, I guess, the All-American at his position, and so he got let go on waivers, and he actually got picked an offer from Boston, from New England, to be picked up by the Patriots, but he was just one of those guys in the 70s who was like, if I'm going to play football, I want to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
Really?
So he would rather not play professional football if it wasn't for the Cowboys?
He was not interested in going to the Patriots. That's my understanding.
What did he do after? It's like, no, I'm going to go like sell cars?
No, well, he'd gotten a degree in business. He was very smart. That while he was, on a football scholarship, he'd gotten a degree in business, and he actually went and helped coach at Memphis State for a little while, the offensive line there.
Crazy.
And then he started using his business degree, and he got into the shipping industry of all things.
Holy shit!
Which he was working in from St. Louis, which is such a strange place to think of the shipping industry.
Right.
The port of St. Louis. Who hasn't heard of it?
Who hasn't been there? It all goes through the Mississippi, boys.
So with a dad who was that kind of like diehard football and clearly like diehard American football, when you quit football because you were a hell of a football player too, right?
I was not a hell of a football player. I'll tell you, I was a hell of a backyard pickup football player.
Yeah.
Like I played a mean tackle backyard football game, and I was okay in tackle, but I wasn't huge. I was like, just under 6 feet, like 170 pounds. So I ran like a 4.6, 4.7.
Yo, that's fast as hell, Matt.
Come on.
No, 4.7 40 is not fast.
7, we're pushing it. Yeah.
I ran one recently. I was like a little under 6, so I'm gonna call 4.7 fast as hell.
But I loved it, and I grew up just that when I was a kid, like just playing football in the side yard. That was like a part of my life, from the time I was probably 12 to I started playing in pads,
Did you have a moment where you were like, wait a minute, I'm just fucking gorgeous, so I'm not going to do this anymore?
No, I never had that moment. I still haven't had that moment.
All right.
Never had that moment.
Let's talk. Let's have a talk here. I want to have a talk. I want you to talk to me seriously and truthfully right now. I mean, and it's okay. We're in the trust tree. We're not being cocky. We're not being arrogant. That you are stunningly good looking. What society deems to be good looking. Whatever, we can have that conversation another time. Based on the hair and the eyes and the teeth and the jaw and everything, that you are stunningly attractive.
I mean, maybe I'm just not my type. You know what I mean? Like,
you son of a bitch. That's a great fucking answer.
I'll tell you this. We were one of the nice parts of being raised in a very religious household is that you're so discouraged away from any pride.
That's what they do best.
Shunned.
Tell them, Matt.
It's like they will chop you down if you're that tall poppy,
what they
baby.
do.
Don't get up there. Don't climb up there. So I'm glad they did that for me because it allows me to never look at myself in that
allows me to never have self-confidence ever.
Yeah.
No self-esteem over here.
I started Magic Mike, and I'm still like, well, I'm not that good looking.
Yeah, come on. When you get the nod from Magic Mike, they're not casting ugly guys. You know that.
What's crazy is I didn't even think about the subject matter as much. I was really wanting to work with Steven Soderbergh, and who I love and who's still a good friend of mine and who is an amazing guy. But at the time he was saying he was thinking about not directing anymore, which obviously isn't true. But that's what he was thinking at the time. So I thought, man, if this is my chance to work with Steven, I gotta jump at it.
No matter what, right?
It wasn't until I said yes that I realized the levels of waxing and tanner and, and abdominal crunches I was in for.
Yeah. Do you think that movie, it doesn't get better because it's universally beloved, but do you think less people saw that movie? Obviously they did because I can't see a shirtless man. That's gross. But it's a great movie aside from
very
it's entertaining with just a stripper lifestyle, but it's also a great story and a great movie. Do you think that almost the stripper aspect took away from it, even though it's not really, it's just Channing's story, right?
I mean, I think it's based on Channing's story. You'd probably have to ask him more than me.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I think he did a great job of also making it a commentary on capitalist culture and what it means to try to make a buck and what kind of ethics or parts of yourself do you have to sacrifice in order to try to make a dollar and get ahead in the world,
Yeah, they're writing theses about it in college now.
I mean, it's a legitimately awesome movie. It's it's a cool story of just hanging out with your boys and having a good time and having dreams and stuff like that. The stories in it are incredible.
The first one's really dark. The second one is definitely more kind of like a road trip buddy movie, group buddy movie, and it kind of reverses the gaze, the male gaze, where women can kind of objectify men, which I think is good. We should do that in 20 whatever.
Yeah, you know what? They were making big waves last night on The Bachelorette. They had the girls made the guys play strip dodgeball. And they went dicks out last night. They were totally naked.
They did not.
They went dicks out.
Drop full trout.
They did.
That's a dangerous game to play naked.
You got to be confident and to walk around with like a house full of good-looking dudes. They were dicks out, and some people were
too.
I know.
Yeah.
You're moving and flopping.
Very vulnerable.
Right.
Very vulnerable.
But there was a bunch of think pieces I think on Twitter right away about like this is objectifying, and the producers were like, yeah, it's The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. That's what we do here.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was fun. It was funny to watch that.
I have to say I've never seen The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, and I get chastised for it constantly because people like live and die by that show.
Yeah, you would be great on it, by the way.
It's insane.
You would kill it.
I gotta sign up for that.
Yeah.
It's in like here, Barstool Sports, people think it's very sports heavy. At my Twitter timeline at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays turns into exclusive Bachelor stuff. And I've actually never seen. I tried to watch one episode. I typically just don't really care for reality TV. And I tried to watch one episode of Bachelor in Paradise because everyone here loves it so much. And it just didn't hit for me. But it's crazy how popular it is.
It's like a sport in its own right.
I feel like particularly in the sports world.
Yeah.
It's obviously The Bachelor has its own world. But my Twitter timeline is largely sports writers or athletes. And it's all anyone talks about.
Yeah. You got to get into it, man. Give it a shot.
I got to get into it, man. Right now, I'm just trying to keep my fantasy team up in the top of the ranks, baby, because I'm having a year this year, baby.
Are you? Yeah.
I only have one loss so far. I'm doing okay.
All right. It's an interesting year for that, too, with Corona, cancellations, rescheduling.
Yes.
I'm sure it's fucking everything
and
up,
injuries,
right?
man.
Yeah.
It was like that first Niners game just broke my heart. I was like, it's so dispiriting to have so many of your stars injured in one game.
Yeah, you're fucked.
I've never experienced anything like that as a fan.
Yeah.
The Patriots
Love
had
me
that
some
happen
Arizona.
too. Like last
Did
week.
they?
Well, it was just like, it wasn't stars, but it was just last week because they hadn't practiced for 2 weeks because of COVID. They had like the COVID lockdown. They had a game canceled. They had 2 practices over the last 2 weeks.
It really shows how important practice is.
Right. And
they got injured and they stunk because
it was just like every play, like guy down. And it turns out practice is important despite what Allen Iverson said.
Yeah. And I got to imagine the conditioning and, some of the hits, I have to say, I love Arizona and I think they have an amazing defense. Some of the hits I was like, yo, but then I thought, well, maybe these guys haven't really had time to practice practice hitting. So of course they're not like squaring up on people. They're just trying to get people down however they can.
Game. Right. Messy game. So tell me a little
go
bit
low
about
on my boy Kittle, man.
Yo, he is a player. He is a stud, dude. Tell me a little bit about the new project here, The Boys in the Band.
Boys in the Band is on Netflix. So it's based, we did the play on Broadway back in 2018, and it's based on the play. We got the same cast, same director, but it's about this group of friends in 1968 in New York. We're all gathered for a friend's birthday party, and the arrival of an unexpected stranger sort of throws everything into chaos and is really revelatory about these men. It's a group of gay men in 1968 before Stonewall, and it's really revealing about their relationships to themselves, to each other, and to society at large. But it's also really, really funny.
Okay, I was going to say, that sounds like
I'm not saying
heavy,
I'm funny, but I'm saying the material is very, very
good.
funny.
I mean, I watched The Normal Heart was like one of the most like, that was one of the most, I don't want to say difficult to watch, but like it was intense, It was like heavy. It was great, but it was like when I finished it, I was like, oh my God, I need to like take a nap. I need to like, unwind from it. It was gripping. But this has more of like a humorous twist to it.
This definitely does. I mean, look, it was an honor to be a part of both of these stories. They're both kind of iconic pieces of in the LGBTQ plus canon,
Is that something you seek out? I mean, it's not coincidence that you've done multiple projects now that are in that realm, or is it?
It is and it isn't, because they were certainly The Normal Heart was like such a memorable aspect. I remember reading it for the first time when I was like a teenager growing up and be like, whoa, what is going on in the world that I don't know about in rural Texas? So they'd been on my radar, and I'm so thankful. It's really Ryan Murphy who's brought me into the pieces, and he's the reason I'm really involved in getting to tell them on the platform that I'm getting to tell them on.
I was reading an interview with you about I think it was in Geo, and it was you said something which I found interesting, where it's like you and the cast of Boys in the Band decided you weren't going in to do an important movie, a quote unquote important movie.
Yeah.
You were like, we're just gonna do a movie. Is that something you feel when you go into movies? Like I have to tell a particular story, but or you're just like I'm an actor. I want to act.
Yeah, well, I think it's a trap to ever think we should play how important this is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I am one of those people who I do feel like the set is kind of a sacred space. I want something magic there to happen every day. I want to give it that respect, and I think certainly with Normal Heart and with Boys in the Band, you realize you're dealing with pieces that have had resonance and have import in productions in the past. But I think one of the things I learned from working with both these playwrights on these iconic pieces is that their work is going to transcend whatever you do to it. It's like it's in the words, it's in the story, and your job is just to go there and play the scene and give it all the respect and thought and emotion that it deserves.
We got a little game here we like to play.
By the way, in that Geo interview, the last question they asked you, that was crazy, right?
What did they ask me?
It was like, who is the person who you've lost that hurt the most, and what would you say to them? And you were like, I've had pretty good peace with everyone I've lost.
It was a heavy question.
Because they were all just regular questions, and then it ended with what would you tell your loved one if you could talk to them again? Like, I don't know, man. Go watch the Boys in the Band.
It's also one of those questions. Right, watch Boys in the Band. Streaming now on Netflix. No, it's also one of those questions like, bro, do you really think I'm going to give that up in an interview? Yeah. I love you. I'm so honored to be in this magazine, but I don't think the person I'm thinking of right now is reading this article. Hopefully they have other things to do in heaven, whatever they're doing.
Well, we've got a series of questions here. It's called Answer the Internet. They're from our callers and from the deepest, darkest corners of the internet. So we're going to hit you with some hypotheticals. No ducking, no nothing. Hit us with the real deal, all right?
Don't worry, we won't ask about any past loved ones.
If you were a general,
right, thank you.
If you were a general in the Civil War and you could get either a T-Rex or a modern war tank to fight on your side, what are you taking?
T-Rex.
Yeah. I mean, like the war tank is probably like a better weapon at war, but if you just had a T-Rex, like send in the T-Rex.
Yo, I mean,
imagine
don't send it in, man. I want to be on that thing's back. Just like ride and mount up.
Daenerys coming through. Like imagine what the rebel soldiers would do if you just came barreling down Atlanta on a T-Rex.
See you later.
All right, fine. Everyone's free. Get this thing out of here.
I want to see that. I want to see that on screen. I feel like that could happen on that new HBO show.
All right, Matt, how about this? If we write the movie, will you promise to star in it right now?
Hell yes. Sight unseen.
There we go.
As long as I get to ride on a T-Rex and just like plow through Southern soldiers. Sorry.
If you could only have 4 teeth in your whole mouth, where are you putting your 4 teeth?
Bro, front and center, man.
Yeah, you're gonna go top, all 4 top.
I just think for my profession, that'd probably.
Yeah,
be
you can't mess the moneymaker up, you know.
I mean, I don't know.
Think,
like at least have enough
molars for chewing, though. Like you can't eat food, really.
Well,
I probably don't eat food
just
as
go
is.
on a liquid. I'd go on a liquid diet. I also need to like enunciate, like I need to be able to speak, and you need those front teeth to that's where your tongue makes those sounds,
So when you said for your profession, you meant for speaking, and I just assumed for looks. What a shallow asshole I am.
I mean, listen, we can wrap it all up into one big shiny package.
All right. Let's see. Here's a classic one for us. Do you think there are more murderers or porn stars in the world? And what's your definition of porn star?
That's an important one because it is like,
I like to think of them as exotic entertainers. I would say probably adult entertainers.
You think?
Yeah, especially with what's the one now you can like pay to like see specific
OnlyFans,
people?
man.
OnlyFans. I mean,
Matt, let me
isn't
tell you.
everybody on OnlyFans?
You want to make some money, pal? You should see the numbers that are flying around, Matt. These guys are
Really?
making bang.
Tyga makes $5 million a month.
A month.
On OnlyFans?
On OnlyFans. Just on OnlyFans. He'd only made $1 million in his rap career.
Do you know how much money you could make, pal? Let me be like, I'll run it for you. You just got to send me some pictures and stuff, and I'll post them. I'll do all the grunt work, okay? I'll take 10%.
I'm just scrolling through my mind of how I'm going to explain this to our children.
Here's
But
how you do
maybe
it.
it's be like,
Here's
here's,
how you do
a
it with a
Lambo
stack
for
of
your
cash.
16th birthday.
Exactly. Yeah, you may have seen Dad in some
Wait.
weird pictures, but here's a Lamborghini. Okay.
Hold on a second. Wait. I don't want to gloss over this. Does Tyga like does he just take shirtless pictures? or
No,
is he
No,
like,
no, he does it all.
Matt, I've
He's
seen
like-
Tyga's penis.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does
All
all
right.
that.
Is he like
I followed him on OnlyFans. I wanted to see what he was posting.
Sure.
Yeah, he goes full erect penis on there.
Dick is
Wow.
out,
Yeah.
and usually it's he has a bevy of women in the background who are more performing things while he just kind of
Yes.
like, here's my dick. So he has not fully engaged yet, but I'm sure that's coming.
Yeah, that's for sure.
okay?
Once you get a taste
Matt,
of that.
we've-
That 5 mil left to 10 mil. You gotta step up the game, baby.
We've really turned your career around in this half hour. You are about to
guys.
star in a movie where you ride a T-Rex in the Civil War, and you got an OnlyFans.
You know what? Let's put it together.
You have taken the road less traveled, friend.
Guys, my agent is gonna love you.
Let's do one more question before we let you go. This one is good because I bet you are an answer for a lot of people for this question. If you could
dear.
live anyone's life in their body, who would it be?
Oh man.
Because your answer should just be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm staying right here.
Man, I gotta say, if I could live anyone's life in their body, who would it be? I don't know, man. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to be like one of those like just specimens in the NBA who can
Oh, I know.
is just like
Yeah.
6'7" and still an amazing athlete and
Yeah.
can dunk and just do everything
Yeah.
and run fast. And
When the first time you if you're lucky enough to like sit courtside or get on the floor, like see them in act, it's weird to see someone that big move that way and like jump that
Yeah.
way. It's crazy.
I also got to say, my boy Ayuk, after that double hurdle on the goal line a couple weeks ago, I was like, okay, I'd like to know what it's like to be able to hurdle two defenders at full speed in the NFL.
Every time someone says Ayuk's name, I think they're doing a sound from Street Fighter.
Ayuk!
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 We should make that shirt,
Ayuk!
actually. My answer for this would be probably anybody from Magic Mike. Like,
Yeah,
it would be.
it's this guy right
It would-
fucking here. I'm
it
looking
would-
at.
Don't
it would
choose
be
me,
Matt,
no,
it
I
would be-
mean-
Definitely
it'd be
choosing
Joe.
you.
It would
Why-
be Matthew McConaughey.
Tell me why I should not want to have your body.
Manganello's like 6'6".
Don't tell me. I know them. Tell me why I
Nash
shouldn't
is
pick
like
you.
7 feet.
You're
Channing is like 6'2", but can move like
Channing,
Ayuk.
is he as cool as he seems? Because I've read like GQ pieces
Yes.
on him and stuff like that. I like the GQ cover story. The expose is always one of my favorite articles to read. And this is probably from years ago when he picked up the woman who was doing the article. He canceled the car on her, so he just showed up like holding her name, and then they just went into the desert in LA and just got shit faced in like an old sheriff's town. And she's like, he's the coolest guy ever. Like he woke me up like kicking me in the morning. He was already drinking tequila again, and I was like, that's a guy I want to hang out with.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
Yeah, I think you would. I think he's about as good as it gets in the biz. You know, he's very authentic. He hasn't lost touch with himself. He's always searching. He's a really open guy. He's funny. He's fun to hang out with, and he's also one thing that's tricky when you're a movie star. He's a great leader on a set. You know, he makes it feel like an ensemble experience, even if he's the one bringing in the box office.
Yeah,
He's one of the more interesting, like, I feel like case studies in Hollywood. I feel like when he first broke on the scene, people were like, oh, he's just good looking. Like, he can't act, he can't do anything. When it turns out he's this like crazy, talented, creative person who, if you get if you give me a shot, I will show you why I'm supposed to be here.
He's a phenomenal actor, and if you haven't seen Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, which I think was like his first film role, and he was nominated for like an Independent Spirit Award, he came on a scene so strong in that movie. And then, you have to do this what the studio wants you to do, which are oftentimes romantic leads, which may or may not have all the nuance that other roles, media roles have when you're younger, but he's a phenomenal actor, an incredible athlete, and a world-class human being.
You're not too shabby yourself, man. I appreciate the interview. This was great. Thanks so much. And
Thanks, guys.
Boys in the Band is on Netflix. It sounds awesome. And all your
Oh,
other
you
projects.
guys play one of the meanest games I've ever seen
Yes,
in that movie. That
we do.
They have to call is it the last person you loved or the first person you loved?
The first person you love.
The first person you ever loved. And if they
and you
answer
get a certain amount of points if you get that. If they answer,
1
if you
point.
talk to them, if you tell them you love them.
Yeah, 3 points for telling them you love
That's-
them. 2 points if they
0 points for me. I'm getting 0 points in that game. No, thank you.
I actually could do that because the girl was in 4th grade. I could call her up. I don't know.
You could do it.
I don't have her
Tell
number.
her you love
but
her?
Yeah. Because I actually saw her walking a child recently, so I feel like she probably wouldn't love
I
that.
appreciate that,
but
yeah,
I'd probably mix up the household. The household can't get it out.
I'll just tell you though about this movie. The thing that I think makes it something that anyone can enjoy is not only the fact that it is funny, but it's also about the cost of oppression and what oppression and marginalization does to this particular group of men in this movie. But you don't have to look too far in 2020 to see that all around us still. So there is something about it that's still resonant today.
Great stuff, man. Thanks so much. Can't wait to see it and come back anytime.
Thank you so
Give
much,
my love
Matt.
to New York, you guys. Always great to see you.
Have a good
You
one.
too.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right. Big thanks to Matt. Awesome dude.
The man.
Great.
I already loved him.
Yeah.
And I love him even more.
I mean, his eyes are like striking.
Yeah.
Like the fact that that's how good he looked over fucking Zoom. Can you imagine when he's like dolled up for the red carpet? Fuck out of here, man. All right, one more interview for you. We got Andrew Bachelor. You know him as King Batch on the internet. Check it out. Yo, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't. There you
There
are.
he is.
There he is. What's going on, dude?
What's up?
How we doing, man?
Good. How y'all doing?
We're good. Where you at right now?
I just landed in LA.
All right, back home. Is that home for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So back home in LA, doing the Zoom thing. We got a lot to talk about here. We got new projects out, but every time we've talked before, and we dove into like the social media game a little bit, and it's even since just then, I feel like it's changed so much in just a short couple of years. Being someone that came from Vine and then has seen it evolve into this, that, the other thing, new apps, everything keeps coming out. What's your like the fact that you're almost like an OG now, you've been through several platforms, you know what I mean? What's it feel like kind of being like watching the new ones come up?
Man, I just realized it's a cycle. It's like the same thing that you saw in Vine. Like I think Vine, there was a group called MagCon. MagCon was a group in Vine. It was like, a group of people that just got together, they got in a house and they just started creating content together. And then now you got the thing on TikTok. There's all these houses like the Hype House,
Yeah.
that house, and this house, and you just see the cycle. You see the people like you can kind of tell like who's gonna blow up and then have a career after TikTok, and who's gonna like be on the social media thing. So it's kind of cool to see it all circle around.
Did you guys get as rich as the TikTok kids do as fast? Were you like, because these guys are like angel investors already.
They're crazy.
They've been on the scene for 6 months. They're like, oh yeah, I'm investing in all these businesses and what? Like, how you have that much money already? Was Vine like that? Was it that quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vine was making money quick because back then it was like if you're getting like 3 million views, 6 million views. TV shows were only getting like, a couple million views. So they were looking at it as advertisement, and they were paying us the same amount that they would pay like a TV spot.
Shit. I mean,
I like the face where you're just like, yeah,
we were rich, bro. How old were you on Vine?
Vine, I think it was like 22.
All right, so that even like in TikTok terms these days, it's like 22. He's washed up, bro.
We
You
have
know?
we have a 22-year-old girl here at the office who does she does TikTok a lot, but she started doing the dances. And like people like, go home, grandma. She looks every bit a 22-year-old. She looks like she doesn't have like wrinkly skin or anything like that. She's got a great skincare routine, and people were like, get out of here, go deal with your kids. It was so mean.
Yeah, dude. It's a grimy world out there. Yeah, like I mean, I feel like the some of the stiffest competition is kids. It's scary, man. Like I made a video talking about it and like just got caught up for like a day with them commenting and talking shit about me. And I was like, these fucking teenagers are nasty, man. They're mean fucking kids.
What were they saying?
Just like mostly old jokes and shit, but they know how to like kill me right away. They're like, why doesn't this 40-year-old man go home with his ugly hairline? And I was like, fuck, you're right, man. I gotta go. Yeah, exactly. Mean, fucking mean shit, dude.
They need to be spanked.
So Vine, like goes away. You kind of transition to YouTube, whatever. How do you make the jump? Like you said, you can tell which people are going to be something real and which people are going to kind of just be like stuck in the social media realm. Like, how did you make sure you were going to make it to the next real level?
My focus was always acting. It was never there was never any other focus or motive. That's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept true to that from the jump. I was doing auditions. I was still taking classes, so I was putting in the work. A lot of people that get stuck in the social media, they get caught up with like how many followers they get and how famous they can get, and they just focus on that, and then that's how you get trapped and stuck into that one box.
Was that weird taking classes? Because like you were famous. Like we had Logan Paul on a few times. I think we've talked to him about it. Where he's like, "Yeah, I'm taking classes." I'm like, you're taking classes now? Like, isn't everyone like, dude, you're fucking Logan Paul. Get out of here. Like, is it weird being famous in an acting class?
No, because they have these things called the master classes, and then you have other people who are like TV regulars, like series regulars, and that are in movies as well, that are in the classes with you. So it's like, they're famous too. You know what I mean?
That's kind of like maybe we should be doing some classes, man. Shit, if even the successful famous people are doing classes, we're not successful and famous. We don't do classes.
You telling me I'm not gonna fall ass backwards into it? That's what I've always been banking. I put all my eggs in that basket. It happens accidentally. Some production assistant gets drunk and is like, I guess he's fine.
He'll cut it.
That's my open door right there.
Do you think? I guess some people don't. Like, so you go into it being like, I want to be an actor, but shit, my Vine just blew up, my YouTube blew up, whatever. Like, I'll just use this, like, you're not going to turn down that success. Like, would you say that helped overall by getting that fame, or does it make people not take you as seriously? Like, would you have done it differently if you could go back, or did it overall help you get where you're going?
It was kind of like hand in hand. I look at it as, you have fate, and then you have the energy that you put into it once the opportunity presents itself. And once, I started doing the YouTube videos was first before the Vine. I started doing YouTube videos, and I was trying to create content that would show my capabilities as an actor. And then in doing that, I started to gain a little fan base. So it was all unintentional, the way that it happened. And then I just kept going and kept doing it. And then I got once I got like a large following, and all the agencies that shut me down, they were just all calling me in.
Funny how that happens. They all come back around.
Funny how it's all comes back.
Yeah. Was there any inclination to be like, fuck you guys? Or was it just like, hey, all right, you're back around, let's make this happen?
Yeah. That's my attitude all the time. It's like, there's no harm, no foul. I have a goal to set, and I'm gonna get there however I'm gonna get there.
Was there ever any thought of like, maybe I'll just keep doing this social media thing because you're making a boatload of money and it's easy and?
No, never. It doesn't satisfy me the way that playing characters on TV shows or movies does. And it's like, yeah, it's cool. You shoot on your phone, yeah, it's easy. But there's something about like, if I wanted to do like a huge car scene, like a huge fight scene with fake guns and all that shit, it's like it's you can't do that with the social media. You got these people are paying millions upon millions of dollars to get that content made, and that's fun.
To what you said there though is interesting because you said how easy it is. Like, I mean, I've been doing blogging, podcasting, videos, all that shit now for like 11 years. I feel like I could not go like corporate or go like to be able to, you controlled everything you did. You shot it, you filmed it, you edited it, you had full control. It was exactly, your internet content was like exactly what you wanted it to be. And then you start doing movies and TV and whatnot, and it's like you turn that over completely to someone else. I would be like, no, we're gonna do it like this is how I want to do it. But obviously, you know, directors, producers, everybody else knows more than you, or thinks they know more than you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, fortunately, I was, you know, what I do, it's like the directors let me improvise on set. You know what I mean? So they let me keep who I am, and they let me use the skills that I've learned in class and in school and all of that when I'm on set. So I'm having fun. Yeah, there are times when I do get frustrated because, you know, being on the internet, I know what automatically works, what doesn't work.
Yeah,
and,
right.
You know,
Like we get that with advertisers, where it's like we want this to be like this kind of reader, this kind of commercial. And we're like, that's not going to do anything.
No one's going to
I promise
care.
you, I know more about this than you do, and
Right.
like that's not going to work. And they're like, well, we want it this way, so it's like, all right, I'll do it that way. Guess what? Fucking, you should light your money on fire.
Yeah, you're wasting your money. Like, I know how to reach people. I know what's going to get them into the theaters, or I know what's going to get them to stream this. Like, just let me do it. Do you ever run into that where you're like, just you get that sort of freedom where it's like you can control it to that extent?
Yeah, but I run into the same frustrations that you guys run into as well. So yeah, I totally get it.
Speaking of getting to be, like they said, they let you be you. I'm looking at you right now, and everything is tight. How long does this grooming situation take? Because you are trimmed up, man.
I actually just woke up.
Motherfucker.
If you rewatch this clip, you'll see me wipe my face. That was me wiping the boogers out of my eyes.
Being rich must be awesome.
Yeah, man. That's the worst he looks. Yeah. That right there is as bad as it gets. Look at me. I mean, I look like a homeless person, man. God damn, this blogging shit does not pay. So the new you got a couple of projects out right now, but Holiday is tell me about that. What's going on there?
Yeah, Holiday. It's a movie about two singles who want to enjoy the holidays together with their family without the embarrassment of being single. So they
classic
go as a holiday.
There you go.
Yeah, so,
all right.
Did you ever run into that growing up, or still now because you're fucking younger than me? Like, do you have like parents being like, "Where's your girlfriend? When are you getting married? When are we getting a grandkid?"
Oh yeah, all the time.
You do?
I just tell them, listen, everybody relax. It's gonna happen.
It's like, I'm busy getting rich over here. Calm down, man. That's funny. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. You know, the old folks in your family want you to be married and want you to have babies and all that. And it's like, I don't know, maybe sometime, maybe never. Who knows?
Maybe never.
Yeah.
Maybe never.
Wow, who meant that?
You ever run into a scenario like this where you're like, I don't know, it's a bet with I'll be your date for the night, or I'll just go as friends, or anything along those lines?
I'm sure I have. I've never like considered it like, you know, like a fake date or anything like that.
Yeah, like hatching a plot or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, never anything like that.
Have you ever gotten a girlfriend for like an hour, say?
An hour?
I don't know, paid for like an hour and gotten some time.
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah. Not in Vegas, baby.
And what's up with sneakerheads? Unfortunately, I'm addicted to the sneakers as well. It's a horrible habit of mine, and I know sneakerheads is you know, a cool look at that culture, which really hasn't been portrayed too much in anything, you know, mainstream or like fully like in the industry. So how was that?
Yeah, I mean, that was cool. It was a small thing we did, and it ended up getting picked up on Netflix, and that was cool. It was like top 5 on Netflix TV shows in the US and a couple of #1 spots around the world. So that was dope.
I feel like that's such a great like a hobby, I guess you will, to attack, because the people who like it want to watch it, no doubt, because like, this is my world. And I feel like everyone else who isn't in the sneaker game is interested in it. Everyone's just like, oh, like I want to learn more. I feel like it's something
cool
everyone's
shoes.
interested in. Like there's no one from the dorkiest person in the world to the coolest person in the world. Everyone wants to look good.
Yeah.
Right? What your taste says is good might vary, but you want to walk out the door looking good.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you into sneakers, or was that just a role you took?
A little bit of both. I used to be back in the day, and then when I got older, I kind of like.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, right? Eventually, you just kind of like grow out of it, or eventually, like I look around, I see how many pairs I have. I'm like, this is just stupid. This is just so fucking stupid. But I also am like, I like having them. You know, it's like, but I have them if I ever need them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna play a game here called Answer the Internet. It's questions from our podcast and all around the internet, hypothetical questions that we're gonna hit you with here. Let's see. How many grown men do you think it would take to
Zero.
to kill a grizzly bear with their bare hands? One bear versus how many guys?
How big is that bear?
I mean, it's a full-size grizzly.
I think we'll give 7 feet, 600 pounds. I think that's a total guess what a bear is.
5 Shaquille O'Neals.
I would like to see that.
That's a big one on the internet right now on Twitter today.
What's
is
that?
bear versus gorilla. Who wins?
Oh, gorillas are fucking monsters.
No, it's a bear. It's a bear.
A bear would beat a gorilla?
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't think so.
A bear would work a gorilla.
I don't think
dude,
so.
A bear has
the
knives
claws.
attached to his hands.
The claws, but the gorilla,
he's got 5 knives on
the
both
gorilla
hands.
can move, man.
A gorilla can move, but guess what?
So can a bear.
Bear's got reach.
Yeah.
Bear's 7 feet tall. Gorillas aren't that big.
I feel like gorillas are like swooping in, punching, and moving out, though. You know,
A bear is a lineman. He could take a punch.
Who you think, a bear or gorilla?
Wow. He's got me on this bear thing now.
Yeah, no, the claws are the real kicker for me. Get
Claws,
your
I
hands
didn't
on you,
think about
rip
the
it up.
claws.
How much is too much of a height difference in a relationship?
It's never too.
Come on, what if she's a foot taller than you? Can't have that. He's like, now we're talking.
I'm gonna climb that mountain.
Who would win in a fight, Allen Iverson or Yao Ming?
Oh, Allen Iverson, because he fast. He probably like take his knees out quick.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think AI is too sly.
I know, but I do believe Yao Ming is like 400 pounds now.
Yeah, and guess what?
He's slow,
that
but-
ACL's begging to break.
Yeah, he's like 7
400?
Yeah, because he's like put on. He's not in great shape anymore, so he's put on some pounds. He's like 7'8", fucking 400 pounds. That's
I think I could take Yao Ming in a fight.
Yeah, you could not.
I genuinely believe that. I think I could beat up Yao Ming. Cause guess what? I'm just.
All right, hypothetical for you. Do you think him versus Yao Ming?
Yao Ming.
No, dude, Yao Ming's knees are begging to break.
You think he's gonna kick him?
All Yao Ming. Yeah, but the reach.
Yeah, you won't even get to his
the
knees.
claws.
I'll get that. He's got the claws. Dude, I'll just run in circles, get him dizzy, and then I'll slide in, right? Just slide like a baseball slide. Legs out, bam. Shattered knees. Shattered Andrew.
Let's see. If someone texted you a picture of your dick, no context, would you know that it's your dick?
No.
You got a nondescript dick, huh?
I had no idea.
What the
fuck would you send me the dick pic?
That's fucking funny. No. He gave us a real thought. Nope. All right, last one here. Oh, this is a tough one. Would you rather sit down with your parents and watch every sexual encounter you've ever had, or you got to sit by yourself and watch a sex tape of the night they conceived you? That one's grimy. That one's tough.
That's gross.
Yeah, man. So it's either
But I'm watching their sex tape.
Yeah, you gotta, right? You can't put your parents through that, and you can't go through that. You gotta take that one yourself, right?
That's torture. Yeah, that's torture for two. That's two people torture.
Exactly. You're an honorable son, dude. You did the right thing there, man. All right, thanks so much for the time. Holiday is out. You got Sneakerheads on, or Holiday's out on what? October
28th.
And Sneakerheads is out on Netflix. So we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
bro.
right.